Hello and welcome to today's stream. Ooh, almost said last week like a fool. Earlier this week, on Monday, we did a lot of prep, and off stream I did a little bit of more prep. Ooh. And I found that something I like about this kit is the fact that all the flat angles on it makes it very forgiving if you overspill your paint, because you can just take the X-Acto knife and just get it off. And it still looks pretty fine. I should still probably sand it, because at certain angles you can see where it was X-Actoed away. But I forgot how forgiving white plastic is. It's not as obvious as other plastics when you scrape away. But I've been busy. Just trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. With the yellow, I tried to play with it more, and I found that it might just be better just to mix my yellows with something that's a little bit stronger. Oh, there's a bubble there. I thought I got out the bubbles. There's a bit of a bubble right there. I don't know if you can see it. Oh. Hello, hello? Hello, Astral. What in the Well, you dropped in at the right time. We are just starting off. I say just starting off. We're just starting off the build phase. We have well, not all the prep, but all the prep before build done. Uh-oh. I don't know why that brush was so firm, but I'm gonna have to check that later. Let's see where we start. Hello, Zaza. You changed your PFP. Yeah, your PFP. And hello, Kwong. Ooh. Hope everyone's having a nice day. Let's get all this out. Let's move all this. Ooh. Realize I need to. With no longer using the VTuber model for streams, I should probably update this into a PNG. Ooh. Luckily, I'm friends with the artist, so I can either make my own PNG or I can ask her maybe make one for me. I don't have top coat. I need to get top coat. Normally, I don't do this much prep. But oh wait. Ooh, wait. I do have a top coat, but I just remembered the top coat is a gloss, and I would want a matte finish for this. I have a gloss top coat because I did some prep on a Gundam Live Lance Heaven, and that's a very shiny mech, so I didn't want to give it a matte top coat. So I do have top coat, but I'm gonna have to get some that's fitting. Ah, you're clippy now. I remember when people liked Microsoft. Yeah. Actually, before stream, while I was prepping all the pieces, I spilled my yellow paint all over myself. And I have no idea. I just threw it in the wash with my white blanket, and I have no idea how that's going to turn out. So I'm a little concerned about that. Ooh. I didn't realize my white blanket was in the wash until I already threw it in. Yeah. Well, with this, I should. I might be going. Ooh, I don't know when I'd be able to get top coat, actually. Next weekend, I'm going to the city, so it might have to wait until next weekend, sadly. But yeah, I do know that top coat is effective because it makes my Live Lance Heaven look pretty good. So I should get some top coat for this guy, because it'll probably also make the paint look a little bit better. Look a little less uneven, hopefully. Because it's my first time, again, doing this degree of prep. Just go, but get a coat for this Gundam. So you're gonna put it. So you're gonna put it on top of the Gundam. Yeah, I know it's worth protecting the surfaces. It's just the fact that this is the most I've done that's needed protection for the surfaces. Ooh. Ooh. One thing I actually really like, as I said earlier about this kit, I said how I like it for the flat surfaces, so you could just go with an X-Acto blade. But I want to actually show it in the fact that you have this nice overspill part here. It's really tiny, so I hope you can see it. But if you just go for the... You get a nice little triangle where there used to be an ugly splotch. These are legs, so I'm not going to like do all these on stream right now. But I just wanted to convey how I'm happy how forgiving this kit is for a kit that I've probably used more paint on than anything else. But something I noticed actually while doing the prep for this is these parts are supposed to be gray. And I went into like the stickers, see if I can find them real quick. Ah, there they are. I went into the stickers and I don't think the stickers, yeah, there's stickers, oddly. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This Gundam has big feet, but I actually have like half the feet right here, but I think the Zazabi is still gonna have bigger feet. Ooh. The Zazabi just got them clown feet, but what was I looking for? I was looking for this part. It's weird that like I had to paint these parts, these gray parts, gray to be accurate to the box, but this part uses this sticker, and I think this sticker looks absolutely hideous, so I'm not going to use it. Ooh. But also makes me concerned because it makes me think that this part is also meant to be gray, and I should have. But I don't think I don't have enough. I don't think I'm gonna have enough patience to paint this gray. So I think just doing the panel liner to make it stand out is a better choice. Yeah, big chunk. So it is the Moto. Ooh. After Char's counterattack, it's just all the Gunpla become Motos. So you like them big, you like them chunky. Okay. I know that was a gate. I don't know if that was on camera, but a piece just flew from over here to like right there. And my heart skipped a beat, and then I remember there's nothing important over here. It's just gates. So let us get out all of the doubles and put all of the doubles over here. And I should have taken the advice from last stream and gotten another table. But then I'd have to drive half an hour to get another table, so I didn't want to. Here, I have confused myself, which is a normal state on my streams. Still not one I appreciate. I appear to have misplaced a sprue as I drop one on the floor. Literally after Char counterattack, it would be at least one mobile suit. Is very big and massive example, yeah. Neo Zeong. I thought, when seeing the Neo Zeong, I thought the Nightingale was compensating for something, but Jesus Christ, the Neo Zeong. Yo, dude, I heard you like mobile suits, so I put a mobile suit in your mobile suit. This is real. Oh, chat. The solution is I'm stupid. I was looking for the companion part to this one, and I was looking through the box. I was turning this way to look for the box, and every time I turned to the left to look into the box, the other piece was right here. Just right off camera. And that is another double. So double, double. Boil in trouble. Ooh. I think that's all the repeat throughs. So it should be good now to start. Now I can be like any doubles, I can now figure out where they are. Wait a minute. Ah, I didn't get my phone. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't be surprised if a Neo Zeon is bigger than a perfect grade. I've seen a perfect grade, and the thing is, like, the Neo Zeon, it has to have a stand, and it has those fuel tanks that, like, flare out. That probably takes up more space overall. It's probably, like, technically as big as perfect, but it's just how it's constructed. It just probably pushes it over. And let's look for A. Always the multicolored one. That's always what A is. For the small parts, what I do is, where is it? I use these brushes. This is the one I kind of use for coding. Oh, there it is. I was wondering where this brush was. I was wanting to use it the entire time. But I typically use these brushes. Ooh. This brush I wanted to use, and I'm not gonna get into that. I messed up and I forgot I had that brush. But usually I use the 1/5, which, as you might be able to see, is split, and I have to constantly fix it with pomade to make it tip again. But typically I use, for the real fine detail, I either use this and take it really slow off stream, or if I'm lazy and it's just a panel line, I will use my black panel liner. Though this... Ooh. But you want to know the paints. The paints I use are Gundam paint if I have the correct color, or Vallejo if I have to. I prefer to use these paints, because they kind of go better with the Gunpla, from my experience, and they're the same price as these paints, so it's not really any problem for me. It's just that the Vallejo has more variety. Ooh, but one thing I realized off stream actually earlier today is I really need to get some brown panel liner. I've wanted to get it before, but I feel like this kit would be so much better if I had used brown panel liner, at least in some parts. I don't know if the whole thing should be brown panel liner, but I feel like brown and gray panel liner would have been a lot better to help the colors that I'm using pop out more. Ooh. Again, this is the most prep I've ever done on a kit, so I think it's a little excusable that for my first time going this far, I make little mistakes. It does look like a nacho, dude. Is it Jeff Keighley who does... Yeah, Jeff Keighley, who does the Game Awards. He loves it, man. Oh, God, we should've... I'm so upset. I just realized I could have been building this with a bag of Doritos on one side and a Mountain Dew on the other. We still have Monday. We're not finishing this kit today. We still have time to do that. Yeah, that's... Ooh, I was thinking, like... Actually, here would probably be a good example of it. Of what I'd be thinking of. Like, I'd probably want to use, like, the black panel liner here for these points. But then maybe gray panel liner here. And then for this part, though, because of the yellow, maybe... And I need to paint that yellow. But for here, maybe the brown panel liner would have worked better to accentuate the yellow as complementary. But I'm also not the best with color theory, but I do my best. I have a lot more experience in black and white and shading. I'm I'm sure somebody's painted it orange and just made it a full Dorito, the Xi Gundam. Saying the Xi Gundam reminds me that the shortest dinosaur name is like the Xi Bong or something like that. Ooh, it's like literally XIPAO is the shortest dinosaur name, and the longest dinosaur name is the Micropachycephalosaurus. And the interesting thing about that, I've talked about how the Micropachy is the longest dinosaur name, but those two dinosaurs, the Xi and the Micro, are both found in China. So China has both the longest and shortest dinosaur names. Completely pointless information, but if you're a dinosaur autist like me, I think you'd appreciate it. Where is G? H L. Ah, there's G. Found it. Actually, while I work on the rebrand, making just... Ooh. I don't know. I don't know if I should wait for the rebrand. I'm talking about it too much, but... The redesign is what I should call it. I don't know if I should wait for the, like, have everything done for the redesign and make it into a debut, or just, when I get the redesign, make a GIF. And just kind of go into it, and then wait for, like, a model to be finished like Ada is doing. Oh, I could have panel-lined these points. I could have painted these points. Well, we're not doing the shield today, probably, so I think it's fine. Turn on this. Okay. And let's look for the number 20, 18, 19. There it is. And I was thinking earlier today about how last stream I talked about cheaters in FPS games and how they typically lack over aim. So when they shoot at somebody, like when they change targets, they won't go past them then shoot like at the body. They always go for the center of mass instead of going for headshots, which are quicker kills. But I was thinking today how also a big thing is these people don't... Did I cut out the wrong pieces? I might have. I think I did. They don't do predictive aiming, and what I mean by that is they don't aim for where people will be. It's always Twitch reactive shooting. It's always, they go to where people are, or, like, they always go to where people are because that's how the aimbot works. They never, like, aim at a door, know somebody's in there, know where the person would probably, like, how the person would walk back from the door and move across the door, so that way their head wouldn't be in headshot range. So they lower their shot so that when the person goes through the door, they can get a headshot. It's something I see in a lot of, like, good players, and I never see that from these people. I never see predictive aiming. You're hoping for the Bandai making Exia Exia 2.0 Master Grade and the Exia original itself. I'm hoping with the real grade 2.0s, because I was seeing that the X70... with the RX-78 2.0... I want to get something real quick before I continue. I was kind of, even though I'm not a fan of Seed, I am hopeful for people who are fans of Seed that they'll have the opportunity to have some of their mobile suits become 2.0 real grades. Because, again, a lot of those Seed suits, even though I'm not a fan of Seed, were very early on in the real grade line, and so probably didn't get the best engineering. The Juga before, I don't know, I've not built it before. Ooh. I'm not sure if I'm getting the Juga. Okay. I've seen, okay. I was getting the Juga confused with something else, but I have seen the Juga. at a hobby store once before, and I was supposed to cut off these red pieces. And I almost got it, but I figured it would be kind of a brick. Not that I have anything against bricks, but I already have the Nightingale. And I don't know, I just wasn't in the mood to have another brick, to have another thing that would feel like it'd just be something I'd just put up and it'd just be like, it's just standing there, and that's all it's ever gonna do. It is a fat snuffleupagus is what the Juga is. Ooh. It looks like Gonzo from the Muppet Show if he just let himself go. If he lost all of his chickens and lost his passion for stunt work. It's the dark timeline. What was I... Hold up, what was I thinking? No, that is the redesign notes. We need to get off of those. Ooh. Actually, I was also thinking about how with the cheating, that's going on in gaming, of how there's the old saying, no trust among thieves, or no loyalty among thieves. But apparently that does not apply to cheaters, because there are a lot of people who are just, again, blatant cheaters coming out of the woodwork going like, they're not cheating, here's my footage, and it's just like the exact same aimbotting, and it's just like, okay. Like, ooh. That's pretty neato, burrito. And what's weirdest about it is one of how just acceptable cheating is and how people are, again, themselves cheating and defending other cheaters because they, because when they defend the other cheaters, they're effectively defending themselves. What's weird is some of these people don't need to be cheating. Because these people, you can tell, are toggling off the aimbot, because that's how obvious the aimbot is. Ooh. And the reason they'd have a toggle for the aimbot is so they can, like, pull up Task Manager and be like, I'm not cheating. And then you can notice how their aiming is completely different. But the thing is, when they turn off, like, the aimbot, it's obvious it's off. Because, again, they're doing overshooting. They are actually now doing predictive aiming. Like, their aiming is completely different now. But what's weird is they're not bad at the game. Is that they're cheating while being fairly okay, if not good at the game already. And that's what confuses me. Like, what's the point of that? Oh, this is the wrong piece. It's like, you're not bad, you have a good, like, you kill more than you die, so you're gonna have a positive KD. So, like, why are you so desperately overcompensating still? And that's something that I do not understand. Okay, we need to cut off this piece. And then here. Thank you, phone, for being loud as hell. Hello, Ricey. Ooh. Welcome. There was a lady streaming COD Warzone a while back that was cheating. Ooh. Yeah, it's just kind of sad. I don't understand, like, the appeal of it. I guess if you're a streamer, you can, like, make it look like you're better at the game and get more viewers, you think. Ooh. But I just don't understand, like, the whole appeal of, like, I'm going to make everyone's day ostensibly worse by cheating. Like, it's just always struck me as a little weird in that regard. The RX-78. Hello, Asian. Ooh. The RX-78 is a good classic mech. It is... Oh. Sorry, I had noise from outside. Yeah, that's true. If you freak out over it, it is a good way just to lose relevance. Ooh. Even if you are guilty. You can't wait to see the part 2 coming, and then I need to watch part 1, and I'm gonna watch part 1 this weekend, and if I can, I'm going to, I don't know on the legality of doing this, which is why I say if I can, but if I can, and I'm announcing it now, I'm going to do my best on Saturday to do a watch-along or a watch party on Discord of Hathaway's Flash Part 1. Because I haven't seen it yet, and I need to watch it. I hope I can do it on the Discord. I already have hardware acceleration turned off, so if I have to stream it through Netflix, I should be able to without it doing the black screen thing. Because, thankfully, Area Lulu taught me how to do that. Because we watched some ReZero together, and I did not know how to get rid of the black screen when you try to screen share a streaming service. Turns out it's pretty easy. You just go into your browser settings and turn off hardware acceleration. Ah, there's the piece I'm looking for. The RX-78 too is a nice, good, classic mech. I like how it is the perfect midpoint, because it was kind of had to be, but it's kind of became the perfect midpoint between like the toyetics and real robot feel of Gundam. Ooh. Like it's really the midpoint. Like there are things more toyetic than the RX-78 too, like the Double Zeta Gundam is far more toyetic. But then you have like the robots that are more real robot than the Gundam RX-78 Mark II. I say Mark II, Dash 2. Dash 2 like the Gundam Mark II. It's a very good point to build off of in both directions. Even in AU, for AU designs, you have things like Gundam Seed, which is also far more toyetic. I cannot find pieces apparently. Yeah, there's the 2.0 F. Yeah, we built last week. We built the on this channel last week. We built the master grade F91 Master Grade 2.0. If you mean a remake of the movie, though, no. Because I know that a lot of Universal Century things people want remakes of. But yeah, I'll go grab them real quick. Here, little fella. But if you mean the Master Grade, yeah, here's the 2.0 Master Grade. He's going to be shorter than the thing we're building right now. Yeah, that is a problem. When games are so old, cheating is just easy as hell. That was actually a problem in, there it is, in Team Fortress I'm aware of, is the fact that they just weren't updating their servers, and it was just rampant with cheaters, and they were more concerned with, making deadlock than upkeeping, than they were with upkeeping, Team Fortress 2, even though Team Fortress 2 is such a legacy game for them. The Proper Show, no. We have not gotten a remake of The Proper Show. Ooh. Kind of... I'm not one of the people who thinks that the original Gundam show... Well, I know you're talking about the F91, but the original Gundam show, a lot of people want a remake of. And I could take it or leave it. I'm fine with the original Gundam show. I see it as an artifact of its time, and its funny animation errors entertain me. But I think it is annoying how they, like, partially keep remaking the original Gundam show. Like, they've never remade the original Gundam show, but they're like, oh, Dozel's Island? That one was so bad, we just made it, like, we remade it into a movie, and it's like... Why would you take the worst, like, not written-wise, but, like, the worst animated episode and remake that? Instead of remaking the whole series. This is like... Like, you were so ashamed of Dozel's Island, you're like, we need to make this good. But not do that for the rest of the series. And it's like, I just don't understand you people. The movie trilogy of the original Gundam is not a remake. What happened is Gundam came out in... Was it 79, I think? It came out, I think, in like 79 or something. I might be off on the year. But then a year in it flopped. It actually got canceled because it didn't get enough views. And then the year after it came out, they took all the show and they cut it down into into 3 compilation movies. And then they re-released the entire series as the 3 compilation movies. And everyone was like, this is so good, we love it. And that's actually one of the big parts of how Gundam got, like, popular. The movies are not remakes. The movies are compilations of the TV show, which anime used to do. I'd say they stopped doing that in the 90s, but anime used to love just, like, what they do is they take on a whole TV show of, like, 26 episodes and be like, that's a 2-hour movie now. And you might be like, well, that's gonna, like, be really bad for pacing and, like, it's gonna have to, like, jump around a lot. Yeah, they do. It's a rough ride. Yeah, they've done everything except they've animated every backstory and done everything else, but remake the show itself, they won't do that. Okay? One scene that, like, you know, they talk about in the show, that, like, something that happened off screen for the show, they'll remake the hell out of that. You know, they'll make new animation for that, but make new animation for the original series? No. Absolutely not. Fujoshi's did save Gundam in many ways. People might not like it, but Fujoshis are just as much an important part of Gundam as Gunpla builders and, you know, the lore nerds. The women who look at Char and Garma and go, the sheer chemistry of them is unmatched, and it's like, you have one dude who's literally, like, every time they're on scene together is just thinking, I cannot wait to kill this person, and you're like, they're the perfect romantic couple. But you know what? If it wasn't for the Fujoshis, I mean, you'd lose so much of your Gundam audience. And welcome, Opus. Yeah, that's true. Fujoshis are still an important part of Gundam. They still squeal and make up their headcanons of how toxic relationships are actually good things in Gundam. Ah! Damn it. I think Okay, I don't like that. Hold up. You just mean it's an adaptation at this point. Okay, so I thought I broke it, but what happened is this kit is very tightly put together, and if you flick this fast enough, which I'm not going to do, you can actually create a popping sound from the back. And it's just this part colliding with this part. Ooh, so if you build this and you get concerned because of that, just don't worry. It frightened me too. Charclone is an anime trope that's not only in Gundam, but of course it's most prevalent in Gundam. Char is kind of an interesting character because he is not the protagonist of Gundam, but he is the main character of Gundam. And I don't know if I can think of another show or story that does that, where a supporting character slash antagonist is the actual main character of the story, but is not the protagonist. Because that is absolutely what Char is. The story, Amuro, Camille, even my goat Judah, you technically could replace them with other people, and you'd still have the same story overall. But Char is tied to the story in his own, like, Char's backstory is key to the story of Gundam. You can't replace Char with somebody else. Like, Amuro, you could technically, like, replace with Sayla. You know, Judo, you could probably replace with, I don't know, his girlfriend and say she has new type powers or something, you know? Because they don't have any background that connects them to the story as much. I mean, yes, I know Amuro's dad designed the Gundam, but that doesn't make Amuro an expert on the Gundam. That just means his dad designed the Gundam. And it's kind of just weird to think about, though, of, again, how Char's the main character of the story he's not the protagonist of at any point. Well, unless you count Gundam the Origin. They would milk the original show and the grandfather arc 78-2 until the last drop, maybe. They will make. I'm honestly, now that you said, I'm surprised there's not a Master Grade 4.0. Do you think the Bandai has the backup mobile suit to make kits when they ran out of Oh yeah, yeah, no. They have. If you mean, do they have models they just sit on to release at later times? Like they'll make a model then wait 5 years before releasing it? Oh, they absolutely do that. I don't need to be asked if they do that. I know for a fact they do that because I've come across mobile suits where they have done that, where the technical design in the mobile suit is like 5 if not 10 years old. And I'm not talking about P Bandai recolors. I'm talking about like new kits. It's insane. Amuro was influential. Oh, I will say that, yes. And he was and they did bring him back for Char's counterattack. So, you know, the story could go full circle. Ooh. I say, like, Amuro and Judo and Camille are replaceable. But that doesn't mean, like, when I say that, I don't mean that they're worthless. I just mean, like, you'd have to do a lot of work to replace them. I'm just saying that for Char, he's truly one of a kind in the story. Ooh, I still love all those characters, though. I love the Gundam protagonists and how each one is different in their own unique way. And what piece am I looking for God's sake? Oh, God. Okay, so I need 2 and 1. So no wonder I was confused. I was looking for these pieces on this instead of just this one. So, but 1 second. Let me cut this off. Okay. You're seeing more Wing Gundam, more Wing than Unicorn. Wing is, in the West at least, Wing is what got Gundam into the West. Ooh, I think I can't remember if G-Fighter came out first in the West, but the thing that, like, really got it stuck into the West was Wing. So, Wing is pretty important for the global relevancy of Gundam. Ooh. So I'm not really surprised. I think J is right here. It is. Literally, mobile suits explode in a background, or the blueprint of mobile suits just a few. Yeah. Well, that's like Star Wars stuff, where it's like, here's an action figure for a Star Wars character, you know. Here's a mobile suit design. It's like, oh, how long were they on screen? For half a second in the background. What? When Revenge of the Sith came out in 2000 whatever year that was, I know for a fact that there were Star Wars kits, because I saw these Star Wars kits that were like, here's the firefighter in Attack of the in Revenge of the Sith, and you might be like, when is there a firefighter in Revenge of the Sith? When they crash the elusive hand onto Coruscant and it's all on fire, for 2 seconds, they cut inside of a cockpit of one of those ships that fire water onto the elusive hand because it's on fire. And they made an action figure of that guy. In Return of the Jedi, there's a guy who has a prune face who's in the background for like 5 seconds. They made an action figure for that guy named Prune Face. Look it up. That's a real character in Star Wars. Just finished watching G Savior. You don't know if it's canon. Nobody knows if it's canon. But the wiki said the Gundam is related to the F-91. Nobody knows if G Savior is canon. We've technically been over this of how 15 of how like Bandai just goes, or Sunrise I suppose goes like, is it canon? And they're like, is what canon? Is G Savior canon? What? Excuse you? You didn't finish that sentence. Like you left out the, like you're just asking if something's canon, but you're not saying what. G Savior. You didn't say anything. I don't know what you're saying. Like your Bakuna Gaijin speak just goes over my head, and it's just like, I hope we never know if G Savior is canon. Ooh. Just because that seems like the most Bandai / Sunrise move I could imagine. Char Aznavour, I didn't see that coming earlier, but Char Aznavour was replaced by the... True, Char Aznavour did technically was replaced by himself. Char did, if you're referencing the fact that Char, that Dekum, killed the original Char to take his identity, I suppose that is true. I suppose that's a pretty big hole in my argument. He was like, hey, here's a dude who looks like me. I'll make the assassins think he's me and kill an entire spaceship full of people. A commercial cruise liner of a spaceship full of people. They'll all die so I can live. And you're like, wow, Char. That's not even close to the worst thing you've done. Like, people go about like how he killed the original Char Aznavour. However, I don't think people really think about the fact that there were other people aboard that ship, and that whole ship explodes. Like, they just go to the part where, like, you know, the guy, like, where the scene goes where the guy goes, and he explodes. Immediately after that, it cuts to the outside of the spaceship, and the spaceship itself explodes. Like, this wasn't a contained explosion. Everybody died. Char, before he ever got into a mobile suit, had already killed probably hundreds of people. He's a menace. Yeah, Char killed Char. It's somewhat easy to forget. J14. Crap. Okay. I said crap because J14 is a piece we've already gotten out. So there's one, and we have to find the other J14. You would think it would be right next to the J14 I just got out, and I would think that too. And we'd both be wrong. Oh god. But this was a concern of mine, that I would immediately lose important pieces having them out. Ah, there it is. You saying they need to make more stuff for the Grips conflict? I just remembered how everyone hates the Zeta compilation movies. Because they pretty much, like, reuse the animation from the original show. But then, like, they added, at some parts, just new animation to the compilation movies, but the new animation's, like, really bad. But the Grips conflict and the 1 Year War are also just eras that can just have a lot of, like, space to fill things out for, like, conflict and battles, because it's not just where we see our main characters where fights are happening, especially in the 1 Year War. You can make so many miniseries out of the 1 Year War, because again, it was all of humanity going to war for like a year. I mean, it's a 1 Year War after all. But I mean, like, they went on Earth, and everywhere on Earth, you know, was like affected in some way. That's true. Origin is also kind of questionable. Like, it's not canon, but also it's like... It's not canon, but it's not entirely uncanon. It's like a dramatization, if I remember correctly, of like what happened, but it's like how much of what happened in it happened, and it's like it's a little vague. And then it's different from like the manga, which it's based off of, and it Gundam UC lore, when you get into like things like that, just become confusing though. It's like how GQ is an alternate timeline, but all the mobile suit designs are different, even though it's supposed to still be the universal century for like the initial part of it. So why the designs are different for it be so like everything's the same, but everything's different, and I just it's a crazy time, Gundam. But Origin isn't canon. I don't know if I want to say sadly or not though about that. That's not the correct piece. That's not correct either. Okay, so this goes in like this? No, it doesn't. Wait, I need to look at this. Ah, yes. Yes! I'm not, yes. I graduated preschool. I don't know what you're talking about, chat. Ooh. Thunderbolt is also confusing. Thunderbolt's like not canon, but like the thing that makes it confusing is the fact that then you have things like that aren't canon, like Origin and Thunderbolt, and it's like kind of obvious because they redesign everything. But then you have things like War in the Pocket, Stardust, almost said Stardust Crusaders, like JoJo's, Stardust Memories, and whatever the third one is that I never remember. MS-8 Team, the one that everyone else loves the most. All those have radical redesigns for like a lot of things in them. Actually MS-8 Team doesn't, but there's redesigns for the Zaku's and whatnot in, you know, War in the Pocket and Stardust Memory, and those are canon. So it's a very confusing universe, Gundam. I cannot blame anyone for ever getting confused. Ooh. People said Amuro died in the 1-year war? Where the hell would they get that? That's actually a good... I've never heard that conspiracy theory. The 1-year war is one of the few cases in Gundam with, I guess you could describe it as a happy ending. Sure, like a war happened, but like everyone gets on the lifeboat, they all fly away, and they're like, yeah, the war's over. Camille doesn't get, I mean, Camille gets that at the end of Double Zeta Gundam, but Camille doesn't get that at the end of his show. Camille literally, everyone dies, he kills the bad guy, then he gets a coma, then he goes into a coma. Like, that's the end of Zeta Gundam. It's like spoilers, by the way. Thinking Camille dies, I could understand, because a lot of people don't watch Double Zeta Gundam. That's wrong of you, watch Double Zeta. Hold up, I want to read the chats before they go off screen. There are some things I've seen of like wars in the Sahara and whatnot. Double Zeta actually has some good stuff in this in the Northern Africa. Kind of cool seeing like leftovers from the 1-year war fight against modern mobile suits in that case. Ah, first Neo Zeon War. Sorry, I thought you said the first Zeon War, not first Neo Zeon War. Yes, both of those conflicts could use a lot more flushing out, as much as the 1-year war. Pretty much the whole Universal Century has a lot of space to be filled out, which is why it's so good. But Bandai, I don't know if it's like an economic choice or a creative choice, but they're just like, no. We will drip feed this as slowly as possible, which I understand, but at the same time, stop it. X to doubt. Well, I don't even know what that was in reference to. You see, that's what I've heard about Gundam the Origin, what you said about Thunderbolt, is that, like, the manga is canon, but the show isn't. And that's what makes things even more confusing. Like, I've heard the same thing about Gundam the Origin manga. Basically, Amuro died in the 1 Year Wars from the novel, from the person who made the Origin form. You remember, basically, Amuro is already a soldier before going to the... Oh. That's weird. Because the whole point of Gundam is that Amuro's not a soldier, and how the trauma of him growing into the role of a soldier affects him. That's a really weird choice to do, to say Amuro was a soldier all along. Actually, I'll say that, and I messed up a little. These are not supposed to go back in the box. Gray color RX-78, Amuro versus the Char Red Rick Dom in the novel book also meant... So that's where the frickin' Red Rick Dom comes from, because if I remember correctly, he never pilots that in the anime, but whenever you see, like, Char, and it's like a picture of Char and all of his mobile suits in the 1 Year War, you'll just see, like, a Rick Dom in the mix, and you're like, when the hell did he pilot that in the TV show? And people are like, he piloted it at, like, some point in the 1 Year War. It was off screen. How do we know it happened then? Wait, Zeta is literally PTSD. Is that supposed to be PTSD for to Camille and ended up in a wheelchair? Yeah, he's just the main character, and then they're just like, shit, wait a minute, we have to make a sequel series, and we just gave our main character PTSD and made it so that he can't do anything. Okay, let's get a literal Junkrat to be our main character now. Let me see. I am not looking for the correct piece, and I'm sorry for that. I just don't know where anything is, because I'm a little incompetent sometimes. I have to look away from you, chat, for a second. It's not because I don't love you. You're beautiful, but I don't know where B is. I don't know where the B sprue is, and I really need it. There it is. Okay, I'm just really incompetent. The Gundam RX-78-2 late version is just the RX-78-3. Saying that, I don't know if I should get the real grade RX-78-3, because it's up on P Bandai right now. And it's very easy to change the RX-78-3 into an American type Gundam from Gundam Build Breakers. I think it's from Gundam Build Breakers. Or Battlelog, I don't know which one. But I don't know if I want to do that. But I'm really tempted to do that with the real grade. But it's like, it'd be $60 to get for me. I'm gonna have to read that, chat. Amuro punched a TV when Mr. I killed my dad because he wants to end the war made a speech. I do not understand the context of that. I'm sorry. This kid's killing me. In Gundam Engage cutscene, Char did test use for the new Dom. So it's oh my god. It's from a cutscene, son of a gun. Testing the fighting for the Zaku, fighting 3 Zaku 2s with the non-lethal. Okay. And yeah, this goes on like this. The high mobility type, I understand people getting confused on that one, because there's just like a red high mobility type, and people are literally conditioned by Gundam to think all red things are Char. Technically, Hathaway's Flash isn't canon also, but as it's a sequel to the Bellatronka's Children and not the anime. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah. What if in that case the book is like I know the novel. What if the novel is a sequel to like the children, but then the anime is a sequel to Char's Counterattack the movie? What if that's the case, just to make it even more confusing, where the novelization this time isn't canon? I don't know if that's the case, but this is such a... Oh god, I thought Star Wars was confusing in its lore. Jesus Christ. You mean the, oh god. Like Shin Musa and the Arc 78-3? Okay. I put this on wrong a little. Hathaway's Flash is canon. It's all confusing. I'm still gonna watch it this weekend regardless and hopefully screen share it. But it's all just so damn confusing. Is a Gelgoog high mobility type? What the fuck? I shouldn't be surprised. The 1 Year War, as we said, has been milked to oblivion, and every mobile suit in that has like 20 variants. Like, people talk about the Zaku having a lot of variants, and it does, but everything has a variant in the 1 Year War. There are other like mobile suits in later UC that do not get as much love as background mobile suits in the... There are mobile suits that are on the screen for extended periods of time in Zeta Gundam and Double Zeta Gundam. There are important mobile suits in Double Zeta Gundam that get less love than mobile suits that never appear in the 1 Year War, like that never appear in the original Gundam, but were part of the 1 Year War. That's how much the 1 Year War is milked by Sunrise and Bandai, is the fact that mobile suits that never appear in the anime get more love than suits that appear in animes later on. It's insane. Okay, Johnny, I've definitely seen it, but I'm not remembering it. Yeah, because Johnny Ridden, I was like, oh, I've seen it, but I can't remember it. Gelgoog, high mobility type. Ooh. Got a bigger backpack. I thought it had more to it, but it already has the these skirt thrusters, I suppose. Oh yeah, of course it's P Bandai. And speaking of Gelgoogs that are P Bandai, that's a good segue. Make a heavy gun and my life is yours. They'll do it, but it'll only be a P Bandai. Ooh, is the heavy gun? I think I know which one that is. It's in my brain. It's one of two. Thank you for. There's a master grade heavy gun, but it's from the 90s, if I remember correctly, or the 80s. But that's also like post Char's Counterattack, so they're not going to show that any love. But speaking of Gelgoogs, this is a runner from the Shin Matsunagi Gelgoog Jaeger. And I have built old high grades before, and this is a recolor of a 2001 mold. But oh my god, I don't think I've ever seen it where they were just like, you know what? The beam sabers? Screw it. They're just one piece. They're just one whole thing. I've never had to paint beam saber handles before. Ooh. And I don't know how to feel. I know how to feel about it. I'm annoyed. I have built kits that are older than this that did not have. Actually, no, wait, no. The one mobile suit I built older than this also had this in it, but it was better than this. Because it wasn't pink. What they should have done is just make it all yellow like they did with the... It's not the Bogu, I forget what it's called. But the thing that the first prototype Char clone in Double Zeta flies. I have that mobile suit, and it also has this, but it is just... I forgot about these, and it's so hideous. Ooh. Oh my god, I had figures of Gundams that had separatable beam sabers that are older than that model kit. So the action figure, if you wanted the separatable beam sabers, I guess you had to have the action figures for some reason, not the model kit that comes pre-disassembled. You don't think they have the Mark IV Gundam model kit? They say it's a fairly important mobile suit. Man. Don't worry, they'll release it and charge you $90 for it before shipping. Don't worry, it'll be P Bandai exclusive. Just don't worry about it. It's a miracle the Moon Gundam wasn't P Bandai. I feel like I need to acknowledge that. It's a miracle that wasn't P Bandai. That was standard release. It is very random what Bandai decides is and is not P Bandai, and get L out? L's a double, but I'm not sure. That's a J. Okay, wait, J's a double. J should be over here. So where's L? Need to look through the spurs again for a second. Sorry, chat. K, L. Found it. I found it. He was sitting on a chair and talking about some guy named Light. Okay, are there two L's? Oh, right, he had like a brother or something after he died. Because writing a new character was a little hard, so they were just like, ah, screw it. Let's make a younger, even more autistic version of L. That'll work. No, I have not seen Death Note enough to know if that's an accurate description. So if I'm very off on my description of that character, I'm sorry. I agree, Jim Beam Saber is also One Piece. Oh my god. Fucking the Jim. Bandai will show love to every one-year War Mobile suit except for the original Jim. Which is also weird. Like, everyone's like, hey, can you make a revived Jim? Can you make a new Jim? And it's just like, no. We will not make a new Jim. And it's like, it's the easiest thing to make in the world. People love it as much as they love the Zaku. And they're like, no, we will not do it. We're still not gonna do it. And it's just the most insane crap from them. Yeah, as I said, I am aware that it's not that uncommon for it to be One Piece. I forgot that the other suit that I have that's old also is a One Piece, but I forgot about it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bottom and read up. Yeah, like, Zaku, again, like, people love Zaku's as much as they love GMs. Oh, sorry, people love GMs as much as they love Zaku's. There are massive GM fans out there. And if you want to get a GM, they're either super rare, they're not a Gem 1. You know, they're like, it'd be a Gem 2 or a Gem 3. So, and even those are like super old, like over 15 years old. Incredibly rare. And again, it's just hard to get. Like, you're actually better off getting the action figures and customizing the action figures, as odd as that might sound. Not gonna lie, I think the most milked to you is the Advance of Zeta mobile suits being P Bandai, because that's annoying as hell. It's like half understandable if it wasn't for the fact that everybody loves the designs. If it was like, just like, oh, it's Advance of Zeta, so it's like not like a direct thing, and you know, oh, maybe it's gonna be too niche, but like now that everybody loves the designs and it's very obvious people love the designs, it shouldn't be P Bandai. They should like upgrade it to the standard release, because everybody loves the Advance of Zeta designs, and they keep reprinting the Advance of Zeta designs, so they might as well be standard releases, but they're like, no, they're P Bandai still. It's a silly, silly, silly thing. The dog barked at somebody. Okay. Cold District GM and Command Beam Sabers, One Piece, and I'm actually surprised that if the Cold District is I believe that's the War in the Pocket one, and I thought that was a later high grade. I'm surprised that one. I know that's like the first War in the Pocket mobile suit, if I remember correctly. But it's still surprising that that one was still a single beam saber. For some reason, they made a lot of model kits related based on the 1 Year War. You mean everything, even model kits for the battle space and ship explode, and it's because people love the 1 Year War. It's kind of funny. At least in Japan. In the West, people are just like, skip the 1 Year War. I see that shit all the time. People are like, oh, well, 1 Year War, who cares? It's old, it's an old show and it has a lot of episodes. It's like almost every Gundam, like that's not like every Gundam before like Witch from Mercury is like a 50 episode TV show. This one is like 45 episodes or something, and you're like, ah, that's too many. Go watch they'd be like, it's too many episodes. Watch Gundam Wing instead. Gundam Wing is more episodes. What do you mean? Like, oh my god. It is very frustrating when people do that. So it's like, I'm not one of these people who are like, you have to, if you want to get into Gundam, you have to watch the original series first. But it's when people go like, it's too many episodes, and it's like, you literally were posting about how you were just watching One Piece like yesterday. Don't tell me it's too many freaking episodes. The Robot Spirits brand of animated GM action figures is pretty cool. I think it's the Robot Spirits that I was thinking about, where I remember seeing somebody who's just like, instead of having high grades, he just had a collection of like Robot Spirits from like throughout the ages, and he's just like, he just swaps pieces from them to keep as many of them alive as possible. So I don't think it's probably not Robot Spirits, but it was like the predecessor to that. But like, there are people who have to do that, where they have to cannibalize other GMs to keep the GMs they have in active duty, I guess you could say. Like, if your models are so old that people are having to cannibalize the same model so that, you know, they can still display the frickin' piece, reprint the model, reprint the action figures. I don't care which one you do, Bandai. Just give people gems. It's insane. You got the high grade GM from Gundam Build Fighters, kind of cool with the whole redesign, even if it's not UC. No, I'm not familiar with with that actually. Ooh, I'm not as much into Build Fighters. I only know Build Fighters through the models mostly, and apparently in like, I don't know, in one of the Build Fighters or Battlelog shows, there's like a race of Kimono Mimi people who get nuked. Somebody told me about that when we were playing Space Marine a few months ago, and I still don't know what they mean by that. They just told me a bunch of furries got nuked. And I was like, what the hell's happening in the alternate universe? What's happening in like the alternate universe? Seed Glazer out there would say Seed Peak. I don't know, man. I met people who love Wing and called Zeta Gundam mid-show. That's insane. That's insane. Zeta Gundam has problems of its own, but like saying Wing peaks Zeta, that is an insane statement. I can believe people would say that, but I don't want to accept it. Oh my god. I love Wing, but Wing is a very, very flawed piece of work. Ooh. But I'm willing to bet the people who say that Wing is better probably were all kids when Wing came out, so they got that nostalgia. They're like, oh, I grew up with this. It's like the same people who say that Seed is the best thing ever. You look at them, they're like early 30s when Seed came out in America, and you're like, ah, I know what you are. It was your first Gundam. You're like the people who say Morrowind is the best RPG ever made, because it was your first RPG. People who say like Bioshock, sorry, not Bioshock, it's made by BioWare, who say Mass Effect is the best RPG ever. I love Mass Effect, by the way. But they say that's the best, like, RPG ever, because it's their first one. Ooh. You hate the glaze. I think you gotta acknowledge the good with the bad. I love Zeta Gundam, but the finale, I always complain about how it comes out of nowhere. Ooh. You gotta be fair. You gotta be fair to the things you love. Because you don't really love it if you just glaze it all the time, you don't really love it. I need to find K, which is 2. That's L. Ah, there's K. If you love something, you gotta be honest with it. You got the MSIA, MIA, and then the... Yeah, there's a lot of things in Bandai that they sell. What annoys me is when they make like something that's not a model, that could easily be a model, and then they're just like, no, we're gonna make it a figure instead. And it's like, okay, that's fine, I'll buy the figure. The figure's not at the same scale as the models, and it's like, why? They're close to the same scale, but they're not the same scale, and that's what drives me insane. It's like they're trolling you. That's the wrong piece. Bootleg GM 144th Spartan is cool. They even got the Winter Desert. Oh, that's cool that they have the other variants of it. Ooh. I'm gonna try to catch up with the... Why didn't the Bandai not make Ravage Requiem GMs like... Because they hate GMs. That's the only thing I think. It's like, oh, hey, here's a... Ooh, I believe you mean Requiem for Vengeance, maybe? Ooh. That's obviously a fucking joke name that you use, considering you got the things purposely mixed around. Ooh. But I don't know. Ooh, those were clean as hell. I don't think they did the goose either, but the goose were just custom goose, though. So that I could see why they wouldn't bother with those. Zeta Gundam has bizarre pacing. That is true. Ooh, I love Zeta, but it's a bit of a weird beast. I mean, literally how it opens is the main character stealing a Gundam from the greatest jobber in all of Gundam history, Jared. Actually, how it starts is him beating the crap out of Jared, then him beating the crap out of Jared again and stealing his Gundam. Jared is one of the saddest characters in all of Gundam, and I love him. Ooh. Cheap viewers, be gone with you, bot. Okay, let me get back here. Seed Gundam is still fairly competent show. It's just a bit weird since it's a transition between traditional and though that animation thing does get me, but I don't hold it against it because I've seen a lot of shows that have done 2D, 3D integration worse from the same time period. Ooh. I think it was a bit of... I would say it was ill-advised to retell the 1 Year War, because I don't really think they really added anything with the, like, alternate universe take of the 1 Year War they provided. But at the same time, though I do go after Gundam Seed, I don't think it's bad. Ooh. It's just not my cup of tea myself. Does it go in, like... Wait. I think I have these a little backwards, so give me 1 second. This one is like this, and then what goes on is like this, I think? No. This one goes on like this, I think. Yes. Okay. Ooh. But like, if you like the melodrama of like 2000s anime, it's the like, what I would say about Gundam Seed is that for all the faults that I have with it, it is the most mid-2000s, and when I say mid, I don't mean mid-quality, I mean mid as in time period. Mid-2000s Gundam show you will ever get in all the best and worst ways you can imagine. If you are familiar with mid-2000s anime, it is peak mid-2000s in the best and worst ways you can imagine. And if you're into that, you're gonna love Gundam Seed. If you want all that nice melodrama, you're gonna dig it. And I must have done this wrong. I must have done this wrong, surely. But I don't know how I did it wrong. People... I've never heard... It's always a different opinion on Destiny. People say Seed is shit, but Destiny's good. Destiny is magnificent, but the original Seed is bad. I have no idea, but Destiny is the next AU show I'm going to watch when I'm done with Gundam X and I watch, I think it was Gundam Unicorn was, no, I forget what I was going to watch next in the UC, but I was going to watch something in the UC after I finished Gundam X, then I was going to jump over to Destiny, and I have no idea what to expect. And I am looking at this, and I am very baffled. So this goes in, but it doesn't fit in. So surely I'm doing it wrong, right? Because, hold up, this goes in, and then this... It says this is correct, and I'm losing my brain a little because it doesn't feel correct. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Okay, I see. I see what I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. I accidentally... These pieces aren't correct. I see it. I see it. Oh, God. Shit. Oh, this piece came off so easily earlier by accident. Metal build is 1/100th size. Okay. Okay, it's good to hear that some things are 1/100. But metal builds, if I remember correctly, if those are the models, those are like supposed to be kind of like not quite master grade. So those are supposed to be kind of like substitutes for master grade. So those I'm happy are the proper scale. But it would be more annoying if they weren't. But I'm thinking of like how there's kind of like these mobile suits that have like pre-assembled inner frames. I say mobile suits. There are these models that have pre-assembled inner frames and you just put the armor on them. And those are smaller than 1/44th scale. And it's so annoying when I found that out. Because I was like, oh, this is cool. I have an Ifrit now. And my Ifrit is like super short. When it should be, I think, actually taller than my other like, it should be taller than a Zaku, but it's shorter than a Zaku, if I remember correctly. And it's just frustrating. Okay, I corrected my mistake. The Zaku tank is funny, but I don't... if people glaze the Zaku tank past the fact that it looks like a funny little goober, I don't know what they're drinking, because I think it like appears in Double Zeta as its only anime appearance, and it's literally just like a war relic. It's like some guy just collects one-year war suits, and he just happens to have like, I think, 2 Zaku tanks. But gun tank assault type? Gun tank Mike Brown version. Okay. Wait, no, is that the... That shit's fire. Ooh. I like how it can I like how it can squat itself down to be lower. Ooh. That's a really cool design. People shit on that design? Why would somebody shit on that design? The assault. Ah, that's a really good design, the assault version of the gun tank. Some people just see nice things and they just get angry. Oh, crap. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's really bad. That's... Oh. How bad is this? Oh, it's not bad. Oh, God. I misread the instructions. I thought there were supposed to be 2 of these. So when I pulled out this sprue and there's only 1, I thought the other one was right here and it was missing. I was having a little bit of a palpitation. I was a scared, chat. I'll be honest with you. That's G, and I know exactly what piece that is because I keep seeing it whenever I have to cut out anything from G. And then, also this piece, is we are building the Verniers. That's the correct piece, right? Yes, it was. And then J. Ooh, look at that big old Vernier. Usually Verniers are so small, they're kind of boned if you want to clean them up, but you can actually clean this one up, ooh, I'd bet, pretty well. I should move my F91. I keep throwing a sprue on it, which isn't going to damage it, but I'm going to throw something heavier on it, and that's not good. Ooh. And I don't want to damage this, because this is my favorite master grade so far. I don't know where to put it. Here, I'll put you on the Psycho Gundam. There you go. My biggest boy and my littlest boy. I do, yeah, it does look cool. Ooh. I do like the construction equipment that they made out of it. They're just like, replace the cannons with cranes, and it's just like, honestly, that's some cool looking construction equipment you got there. Ooh. But yeah, the gun tank also looks cool. Pretty much all the line art. I mean, Gundam line art always looks bad. I think the only line art I can think of that I'm not like, oh yeah, that looks terrible is probably Iron-Blooded Orphans. Iron-Blooded Orphans actually looks like its final product in a good way. And I like the Iron-Blooded Orphans designs. But GQ had like next level bad line art, I swear to God. Like the Zaku, I like the design for the Zaku in GQ. I cannot for the life of me stand the line art. The line art is so ugly. I hate it. The Red Gundam line art is hideous. It looks great in the show, the Red Gundam, but that line art, gag me with a spoon. It's awful. And I don't know what they were smoking, but they did something to make all the line art for that series awful. The Gian, again, looks great in the animation, looks fine in the model. Holy shit, the line art's awful. And I don't know why all of the line art is so terrible in that show, but it is. God damn it, it's getting late, isn't it? No, not that late. Ooh. I'm gonna say, if Talk About 2000 show about mecha is goated, gotta say, Code Geass, love the plot. I need to rewatch Code Geass, because I know the anime, I don't know if the anime, like, caught up with, I don't know what exactly happened with the adaptation. I don't know if I should read the manga or watch the anime, but the anime, like, restarted, like, 2 or 3 times from my memory. And I don't know if they caught up to, like, I don't know if they caught up to the source material and had to, like, and they decided to do filler by, like, resetting everything or what. I don't know what. But that stuff's so confusing to me because I've seen the end of Code Geass. I know how it ends. I know how it begins. I have no idea what happens in the middle. Not because I didn't watch it, but because I don't remember what happens when. People lose their memories. Lelouch, like, I think Lelouch bones his mother at some point or something. Like, that might not have never happened. I don't know. I have no idea what happens. I know how the story starts and how the story ends, and I have no idea how those two connect at all. So I need to rewatch Lelouch and the Rebellion. Ooh. But Lelouch and the Rebellion is treated as pretty goated nowadays. Code Geass. Why am I calling it Lelouch and the Why am I not... It's Code Geass, Lelouch and the Rebellion, if I remember correctly, but I don't know why I'm calling it by its subtitle and not its main title. See here, and how did I get here? There we go. And then let's put this right here. I appreciate the simple connections on this kit. So many kits I've had have been like overly complicated in the alignment recently, and you'll like get like two out of three pegs lined up, only for the third one to just not want to go in. But this guy, he's been going together pretty well, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Let us get D14. Will go over here, and then 13 will go over here. Ooh. Back guy design for some reason is looks so bad, but some people love it. Actually, I remember during our last collab with Shog Mommy, who's no longer Shog Mommy. Our last collab with Ada. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get used to that. I'm sorry. But somebody brought up the act guy, and Jesus Christ, we went down the whole rabbit hole of those designs. Those things look insane. Let me see if I can get it up on my phone for anyone who's not familiar, because these things are their own beast entirely. They get goofy. No, okay, wait. We went from the Act Guy to other things. The Act Guy's goofy. He's one of those potato mobile suits. But there's like other aquatic mobile suits that get even more insane. That have... It's like the Act Guy, but imagine first things first, imagine he had no upper legs. His legs were just his lower legs. And then imagine you took his arms and just replaced them with drills. I forget what that's called, but that's like another mobile suit that has a really similar name to the Act Guy. And that's also something really annoying about the 1 Year War, is that like a bunch of aquatic mobile suits just have super similar names, so they get really confusing really fast. Why did they decide to do that? I have no idea. Zugak. Again, the aquatic mobile suits, they were just like, you know what? We're just gonna throw logic and reason outside there's the Zugak, Z-O-G-O-K, the Zugak, Z''G-O-K, the Hugok, which is H''G-O-K, the Hygok, H-I-G-O-K. It's just... Stop it. Just name it anything without gok in it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I like the Zugak. The Zogok, I like. I have a Zugak somewhere. But it's... Oh my god. But that's actually... I thought you were talking about the Zugok when you said Zugok. Because they sound the same, and I cannot keep any of these mobile suits clear in my name. I thought you meant the Z''G-O-K. But yeah, the one that has like big O arms that it like launches out, and it has like boomerangs that it launches off of its head. Insane design, but really, really fun. Oh god, they're just gogging it. Is it the... I think it is the ag that... Ooh. The thing is, I'm using the wiki right now to like double check things, and oh god, it is the ag. Oh. You say ag slander. Chat, look at this shit. Look at this shit. There's no slander. How is that an aquatic mobile suit? Why does it have water turbines on its shoulders? Like that's how it's powered. Like what is going on? It has fruit, like it has the things that you have in like fruiting machines. Like if you ever have like an apple and you want to fruit an apple, it has one of those for arms. That's its hands. What is it? It has a snoot. It has a snoot, chat. Look at that snoot. It's Gonzo from the Muppets. It's so cute. It is adorable in its own dorky way, but I love my favorite explanation in the lore of Gundam to why the mobile suits, why Zeon's aquatic mobile suits look like that, is that Zeon did not understand just how important the ocean was, and so they over-invested into making aquatic mobile suits and just made anything that anyone could come up with, and that's why their designs are so crazy. They just threw money at it. And it's just like, because they're like, well, most of the Earth, 70% of the Earth is water, therefore, we need like a lot of aquatic mobile suits. And it turned out, they didn't need that many aquatic mobile suit. It's a digging mobile suit. Okay, it's not aquatic, it's a dig... It being a digging mobile suit still is a little silly. The Zagak is cool. I like the Zagak. Ooh. I don't know why they were like, you know what, we're gonna give it no range. Like, we're gonna give it incredibly limited range options, but you know what? It still looks fire. Let me see if I can get back to the Zagak for people who don't... to avoid confusion with the Zogak, with the Zigak. This one. Not the Zigak, but the Zogak is what he's talking about. And that's a fun mobile suit. Also very fun to build. Those are drills. Yeah, those use it for drilling the fruit. Imagine the fruit smoothies the ag could make, though. But it's but as you said earlier, it's a digging mobile suit. Sorry for calling it aquatic. It looks like a lot of the silly aquatic mobile suits, so I made an assumption. And you know what they say about assuming. It makes an ass out of you and me. But I guess it didn't really make an ass out of you, so just me in that case. Ooh. Yeah, the Zagak is a unicorn. Ooh. Is a unicorn mobile suit. But like, the Zagak itself still has like ranged options. Because it has beam rifles built into its hand, so it can still shoot people. Ooh, the Zagak is really the budget Zagak, which is just a very weird thing to say, you know? Ooh. They had to spend the extra money, instead of on research and development, they had to spend that money on an extra vowel, okay? That O cost money, chat. Let me get this out real quick. I did some prep on these, and I'm gonna have to do more, but I tried to paint these orange, and as you can see, they're a little bit more red than orange. I'm gonna have to find the other piece real quick. So I might have to be invested in that. The Jurek. That one I don't remember the name of. Oh, today the PNG looks like Merrick putting double lollipop in its... Ooh, there's the same PNG I've been using. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, that's the saddest shit I've seen. Oh my god, he cannot ride any of the Gundam roller coasters. Chat, look at this dude. He killed 50 men. Oh my god, it's the Cotton Hill of mobile suits. Oh, look at that thing. I kill 50 men. Oh my god. Is that one all, is that an aquatic mobile suit? Oh god. It's an amphibious mobile suit. Okay. Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, what is that? Zagok E? Oh, because, you know, it's not confusing that we have Zagok and Zagok. We need the Zagok E now. Fuck off, just with your naming conventions. That is true. The Zagok E is the budget version. You're right, but the Zagok E looks cool as hell. It doesn't look like the budget. It looks like the high-end version of the Zagok, but it is technically in canon the budget version because the late war mechs were supposed to be more cost-effective, and I need to find the other piece, and I found it. You see have no real villains, and ooh, After Earth is real antagonist here? Wait, wait, no. I think I misread that. It's a little annoying how if you want certain mobile suits, you have to go to bootleg. Looks like a gorilla mobile suit. Oh my god. Harambe. It looks like if it was ever on land, it would probably have to walk with its forward arms, though, the Jurek. And for those who don't know, for the Zagok E that I mentioned earlier, it's the Zagok from War in the Pocket. War in the Pocket's pretty fire. Ooh, but it's that one. Apparently they are apparently two are made and one sunk in the bottom of the ocean as its official test. Jesus Christ. Was that the... Wait, for the Zagaki, like, so there were only two made. One did the Antarctica mission and the other one sunk. Yeah, that sounds about right. He's a poor Yurik. Alas, poor Yurik. I don't know, I appreciate the Shakespearean reference. These better be symmetrical pieces. Let me focus on getting these on correctly real quick. Yeah, these are symmetrical pieces, so that's on. And then... Where the hell does this... Okay, this goes on like this. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to repaint that. Like, it looks fine as it is, but it looks way too red. And the reason it looks so red is because I did an undercoat of red. Because originally I was going to do yellow on top, but I just decided to paint it orange just to mix the yellow and red to make orange. So it's kind of a... Ooh, it's a little bit more of a Texas than a Tennessee. And this is a Valley home. Actually, we're in the Midwest, but still. Go Vols! Oh, Anaheim Electronics. Damn it! I knew I recognized the logo, but I was thinking of everything else. Anaheim Electronics got a good logo, though. Ooh. Anaheim Electronics is the villain of the UC. They're just there being like, yeah, keep doing what... They're literally the, They are just the military-industrial complex, and they are working both sides constantly. They are just always present, making sure everyone is suffering as much as possible for their bottom line. Anaheim's terrible. Anaheim Electronics, the fuel reason for a war. Yeah, they literally are the... Yeah, they're the beneficiaries. After the 1-year war, they pretty much became the monopoly... They became a de facto monopoly on mobile suit production. So a lot of times after the 1-year war, it's just Anaheim Electronics fighting Anaheim Electronics mobile suits. pretty much, I think, up until Char's counterattack. It is just a constant. And they're just like, yeah, they're both sides paying us. Gundam, a crossbone dust, UC 169, nice. A group of space pirates do use Zagox in space and modified for... that would go hard. I'm not gonna lie. Space Zagox would go hard. Ooh. And they're already, like, suited for, like, underwater, so I could see how you could, like, make that translation to them. Ooh. But that feels like... I was actually thinking about that earlier in stream, just like, even though they're all, like, atmospheric mobile suits, I do wonder how, if you, like, retrofitted certain mobile suits for the aquatic for space, how that would work. And I'm happy to hear that somebody else thought that at some point. Have I seen the Zoc? Almost certainly, but I probably forget it. Ooh. I had not seen the Uric. Or the Jurek. I don't know which one to call it. I don't know if that's Scandinavian or not. Yes, I've seen the Zoc. I forgot it's called the Zoc, but yeah, that's also a sad boy. That one's in the original show. I remember this, like, appears in at least an episode of the original Gundam show, but this... Ooh. Don't worry, that was just the light. No meaningful reflection. To be honest, I myself don't know I made a Shakespeare reference. I think it's isn't it? Christ alive, chat. Don't help me out here. It's not Macbeth. It's Hamlet. It's Hamlet where it's like, alas poor Yorick. It's not Yorick, but it's alas poor Yorick, and it's like when he's holding the skull. Ooh. So you didn't mean to make the reference, but it's still a classy thing that you did. You're just so sophisticated, you don't know when you're making a nice reference. What do I mean? What? Okay, if I said up until instead of through Char's counterattack, I'm sorry. I meant to say through Char's counterattack, both, like, it's this Anaheim versus Anaheim, not up until. My apologies. Yes, in Char's counterattack, it's still Anaheim versus Anaheim. Ooh. Sorry, English is somewhat... I only speak English, but it's kind of a stupid language. Oh my god, that's a lot of chats to come through at once. But in the manga, those space pirates didn't know. I need to read, like, the Crossbones manga. Maybe I should read the Crossbones manga, then watch Destiny. Ooh. Those space pirates didn't know the beam gun, too many... if you use the beam gun too many times, it causes the arm to overheat and blow up. I didn't know that either, to be honest. And I got finished off by the main character. Jesus Christ. I do know about the anchor... about the anchor of how in Crossbones, one of the mobile suits has, like, a gun that just shoots an like, they just have grappling hooks for, like, you know, boarding actions, I think, or something like that, for, like, because it's all space pirates and whatnot, which is just such a fun concept for Gundam. But, like, somebody has, like, a gun that's effectively just an anchor gun for, like, a grappling hook. I have seen that. I actually have a Crossbones. He's all the way over there. I'm not gonna get the Crossbones. But I love my Crossbones high grade. I would probably get a real grade, but I don't know if the real grade's worth it. Ooh, because it's a very small mobile suit, and I don't know if I would trust a real grade that is that small. The Zoc also got half-second of screen time in the GQ. Oh, that's nice that it got a little bit of screen time in the newest series, and then they were like, okay, let's get that off screen real quick. Like, after the 1 Year War, Anaheim versus Anaheim, both sides use weapons from the... It's rare that you see something not made by Anaheim in Gundam after the 1 Year War. Like, when you hear, like, oh, this was made by, like, this other company, you're like, oh, I forgot there's other companies in this world. Wow. I just completely crossed my, like, oh, that's not Anaheim? Shit, well, though, like, that company's not gonna last long. Anaheim's gonna buy them out, like, by the next episode. which is gonna come out first, a GTA 6 or Crossbones anime? Man. I don't know, but they're both gonna be overpriced as hell when they do come out. The models, at least. What is going on here? I just noticed this. I appear to have messed this up, chat. You seeing how this isn't even? Ooh. Ooh. I probably have to default to Anaheim because I don't think I remember Sinri. Ooh. I'd have to like look over all their mobile suits to say which is my favorite company, because I mean, I'm such a nerd, I'd probably just be like, well, my favorite company is the Xeon company that I forget the name of right now, and give me 1 second to fix this. I messed this up. Anchor Gundam even got a robot spirit action figure. That's nice. Crossbones is whack. They have 4-armed Zaku with no legs and control. Yeah, I know that. I know about the monkey Zaku. That shit's insane. They have a monkey Zaku, and it's just a chimpanzee, and it's like, well, the chimpanzee has 4 arms, so why not make it have 4 arms in the mobile suit? And it's just like, God, it's just this insanity in the Universal Century is the funniest thing to me, because like normally Universal Century is treated like the most real robot of the real robot Gundams, but you get some of the dumbest shit in the Universal Century, and I love it for that. Oh, they're the ones who made the F91. Okay. I do like the F91. It is fire. But I'd have to, like, look through their whole line and whatnot. I'm gonna guess Sinri probably isn't as evil a corporation, so maybe Sinri. But Sinri could be worse. I haven't watched F91. Ooh. Anaheim is very much perfectly portrayed. Is this Bandai? Is this... Oh, so Anaheim is Bandai's insert character. They would sell things to anyone if they had enough money. So just like how Char is kind of like Tomino's self-insert character for his depression, Anaheim is Bandai's self-insert character for their greed. I get what you're saying, Chad. I understand. I get what you're putting down. D, let me find this real quick, because this is not a double. Oh, and this is not supposed to be there. I'm E, so I have to look at the box. So look away. Don't do anything naughty while I'm looking away. Don't do anything naughty while I'm looking at D's. Favorite company is crazy. Let's see here. Okay, it's these ones. It's Zeonic is the Xeon company, right? From the 1 Year War. Ooh. It'd be embarrassing if I got its name wrong, but I was trying to remember. I remember it literally is just Xeon with like a suffix, and I think it's Zeonic. But I know after the war, pretty much all the people who worked at Zeonic were just hired by Anaheim, if I remember correctly. Which is why Anaheim has a monopoly. Crossbone timeline is close to Victory Gundam timeline. I do know that. I think it's technically a prequel. Like, I don't think it's narratively a prequel, but I think it's just setting-wise a prequel. Like, it just happens. Like, it's a prequel in the fact that it happens close to and before. I don't think it sets up anything, but it might. Is that the one that has my goat judo return in? Ooh. I believe that also has my goat judo return in. I love judo. He's the GOAT. F91 made Sinri, just built the Gundam lemma. Well, I don't know the companies that build that. It's all Bandai to me. I like the design. I've not seen the movie yet. And I don't read the lore on everything. Sinri beaten Anaheim so bad, even their tactics didn't work, so the Federation had to tell Sinri to work with Anaheim. Oh my god. Actually, I have heard about that lore before. I don't know why I heard about that piece of lore before, but how like Anaheim had to work with, like how Anaheim got like really lazy and other companies finally started to rise up because of it. And Anaheim tried just to be like, oh, well, we'll just do our corporate espionage thing, and they were kind of shit at that, too. So what happened is that they just had to go to the Federation and be like, hey, they're making mobile suits without us. Stop that, like, stop them. And then, like, Federation went like, okay, you have to let your big brother join in on the designing of it. And they're like, oh my fucking god. I did not know that was Sinri that it happened with, though. Yeah, Zionic was absorbed by Anaheim. They pulled a Project Paperclip for my history nerds out there. That's how America went over to Germany after the Second World War and went like, oh, hey, I'll take you, and you. And they're like, I don't know if I want to work for America. And then America went like, you want us to send you to Russia? And they're like, God bless America, land that I love. You forgot which company made your OG GMs? Is that not Anaheim as well? It might have, probably not actually. Anaheim might not have technically been founded yet. Why did people use the Z instead of the AT-AT? Because it has more brand recognition with a Gundam chat. Let me see here. I got out the wrong piece there, let me... Okay, it's this piece. Ooh. Don't worry, we'll probably build the AT-AT. We will either be building the AT-AT this winter or next May. I know next May is a very far time away, but there's a good chance we'll build it this winter because, you know, the Battle of Hoth. Ooh. Anaheim dominated mobile suit market. It like buying the phone at the... Yeah, they kind of had a bit of a Bell system worked out. If you don't know what the Bell system was, that was in America. Pretty much the phones were listed as a utility, and pretty much one company had all the power of phone communication in the US. I know it's a little bit different, but they pretty much were the people who made everything, and a lot of times the other companies that you might think are separate entities could end up just being... I'm trying to figure out how to put this on. Could end up just being subsidiaries, which just means, like, smaller companies that are still owned by them. Which is something that also happens in the real world, and actually happens, speaking of the Bell system today, with internet providers in the US. You pretty much have a modern Bell system, and it's really crap, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but I'm doing something wrong here, and it doesn't plug into this. That's what I'm doing wrong, is I don't even have the right piece out. C. Okay, so C. I want to build the arms today, but I'm worried it might not have enough time because this kit is so big. Oof. We're gonna get started on the arms if nothing else, I'll say that. Ah! That was the wrong one. Ooh. I felt pain. I felt pain making that realization of my mess up. This is this. And then D10. And then... Okay, and... Then A... Whatever that is. A20? A20? Oh, that's so quiet. Oh. Okay, maybe not that quiet. You clip the America? Man, I don't have my model on, so I didn't even have the toggle for the American eyes on. Ooh. I don't know why, when I use my model for Gunpla streams, why I would just default to the patriotic skin so much. I don't know why I did that. Ooh. I think it just read better. You're getting hanged for your war crimes, German. I have an engineering degree. Americans, you're hired. See you at the office tomorrow, pretty much. Werner von Braun, you are on trial for inventing missiles for the purposes of literally, like, destroying London. I didn't mean it. Okay, I think he's an innocent chap. Let's have him make some space rockets for us. Also, Werner von Braun, hey guys, I think maybe we should do preemptive strikes against Russia. We're just gonna act like you didn't say that, Werner. You know, thank you, Werner, for getting us to the moon, but also, dude wanted us to go to war with Russia really bad. He was like, listen, if we fire nukes first, they'll fire theirs off too, but we can get them before they can fire all of their nukes off. That's something that Werner von Braun actually wanted us to do. He wanted to, like, cause nuclear Armageddon, and he was like, don't worry, we can make sure the elites of America survive. If you've ever seen the movie Dr. Strangelove, the character Dr. Strangelove is based directly on Werner von Braun, down to the fact that Werner von Braun during the war got a leg injury and an arm injury, which is why Dr. Strangelove is in a wheelchair and one of his arms is gimp. Dr. Strangelove is a direct parody of Werner von Braun. He was only in charge, he was only in charge of, if they went up, not where they came down. Yeah, that is true, though. He did have a journal where he actually, in his private journal, he did write that, like, his rockets landed on the wrong planet, in his defense, during the war. Like, the Germans weren't really interested in exploration, so the only way he could get funding is if he was like, well, I guess I have to make rockets for war, too. But that preemptive strike stuff was true. He pushed hard for that shit. This gun from Kunpla stands for America. Fuck yeah! This has to be one of the laziest recolors of a Gundam, I think, in history. I just want to say this right now. You might be like, what do you mean? Like, it's pretty different from the RX-78. It's not the RX-78. It's the RX-78 3. And the only difference is with the original RX-78 3 is this, the vents, the color, and this. Like, they're all, like, gray or yellow, if I remember correctly. So they just pretty much took these 3 parts, effectively, and made them red. Sorry, these 4 parts and made them red. And I'm counting these as 1 each. And they're just like, there, it's the American type now. It's also supposed to have decals, but I'm too lazy. If I get the real grade, I can use the decals, sorry, the stickers, on the real grade instead and make it a custom. But it's still $60, and I don't know if I want to do that. If it's still in stock next month, I guess I might do that. Ooh. Literally, Gundam is like our world, but with giant robots. I know the one thing that is canon in Gundam is the moon landing. And then it's like the universal century. And it's like, how much time is between the universal century and the moon landing? You're not supposed to know that. It's supposed to be kind of like a vague, far future, but not like deep future. So it's just like, the moon landing happened. We know the moon... Neil Armstrong is real. And by extension, everything before Neil Armstrong can be considered canon. But after Neil Armstrong, it's a little fuzzy. That is my understanding of Gundam pre-universal time, history. Is that it's technically an alternate history, or it's an alternate future, I guess you could say. But it's not, like, known when the actual... Like, it's not really known when exactly the timeline diverges from our timeline. Because we only know up until the moon landing is where our universes are the same. And then after that, we don't know if anything else after that is the same, if I remember correctly. Ooh. Weirdest recolor is the Gundam Team RX-78. The UC-001 is supposedly in 2049. Supposedly, but I think it's, again, it's one of those things where they don't want to do a hard confirmation for understandable reasons, to be fair. And I think it's better to do that, to have, like, if you want to have a sci-fi, starting the calendar over is one of the safest things you can do, because you don't want to be like Blade Runner. I love Blade Runner. But Blade Runner is set in the year 2019, and you're like, okay. You just look at your watch and you're like, oh, okay, okay, yeah. We'll have we'll have colonies on other star systems and whatnot by 2019, chat. Oh my god, can you wait? Chat, are you excited for your robot waifus in the year 2019? I am. But they're gonna be illegal on Earth, so you won't have any of the robot waifus. The Austrian painter exists in the UC. That's true. He also exists in the UC. So why not some canon events? Ooh. World War II did happen in the UC because Girin tells... Wait. No, sorry. Dwergen tells Girin, son, you remind me of Adolf Hitler. And then Girin looks at his dad and says, based. And Dwergen goes, okay, I'm gonna call the Federation and I'm gonna surrender and we're gonna negotiate an end to this war because my son just told me Hitler was based. And that is one of the funniest moments in all of Gundam to me. Oh god. I will never not find that moment hilarious. Son, you sound a lot like Hitler right now. Hitler sounds like a cool dude, Dad. Holy shit, this is my son. Yeah, he called him a smart man, and I like it when he walks out of the room. His dad just goes like, dude, he doesn't know he lost the war. My son's an idiot. I need to get out of here right quick. I don't know the exact quote, but like when Girin leaves, Dwergen says the fool doesn't know Hitler lost the war, and it's like, as somebody, you know, who doesn't live in the UC, it's like, maybe that's not well-known knowledge, but like anyone today is like, yeah, Hitler lost the war, not really. It's saying it like it's a revelation to like the audience as well. Ooh. Things did go down 2019. That is fair. But things weren't supposed to go down like that. We were supposed to have like World War III and robot waifus, chat. We never got World War III or robot waifus. What's the point of it all? Also, this chest is ginormous. Let's get a master grade out real quick. We will get the F91. And this chest is way bigger than the F91s. I thought they were going to be comparable. No, this is way bigger than the F91's chest. I thought he was going to be a little taller, like the Zazabi's a little taller. No, let's get the... Okay, it's still smaller than a standard high master grade. Don't ask where his head is, I don't know why he's in this condition, don't judge me. All of his pieces are just over there. I don't know why his head is off and his arm is off, though. But let's see how big the chest is compared to this. God, it's almost as big as a... Let me do this so you can see a better size comparison. It's almost as big as the Master Grade 18th, the RX-78 Master Grade chest. That is ludicrously big. I'm sorry that the Master Grade is partially disassembled. He fell off the shelf and I forgot to put his head back on. And his arm back on. You got the lame version of the world ending? Dude, you gotta remember... Ooh. Earth is history is always boring for the people living through it. Even people in World War II, like, yeah, the people going off to fight in World War II, that shit was crazy. But most people were just, like, sitting in America going, just watching women play baseball, because they were like, well, sure, we're at war, but I still need to watch baseball. Like, we can't just, like, not have a baseball game happen because we're at war with Germany and Japan, and we have no men to play the game anymore. That's stupid. Get the women to play baseball. We have to watch baseball. It's important for the morale of the country. And yes, that's a real thing that happened in America during World War II. It was considered really important that, like, we still have baseball being played at home, but there were no men because all of them were fighting the war, or there were not enough men to play baseball. So we were just like, get the women. Get the women. They're already in the factories, you know? But the moment the war is over, get the hell out of the factories. Thank you, but we don't need you anymore. World War II. Before 2019, everything coded with some kind of alive vibe. Now everything feels dying each day. I was already dead inside, so I don't feel a difference. I don't feel a difference. I was already dead inside, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sent third-party Z. Yeah, I saw that, and I was actually gonna talk about that. But I got distracted, ironically talking about the master grade. But when I was comparing these two, I actually wanted to say that no wonder what you showed on the Discord about the head, no wonder it said that, like, the head is compatible with master grades, because Ricey shared on the Discord the fact of a third-party conversion kit for the Xi Gundam's head, and it just casually goes like, it'll go great with your, like, it says, this 1/44 scale kit will go great with your 1/100 scale models, with your master grade models, and it's just like, it just so casually says that, and it's just, like, I had to do a double take, because it's just like, yeah, well, it'll go fine with it, don't think about it too much. It's a big boy. Okay, let's try to build the arms. Oh my god, I don't want this to be a three-parter. But I don't want this to be a four-parter is what I meant to say. It's gonna be a three-parter no matter what, but I don't want it to be a... Actually, what we're going to do, really quickly... Might have to be a four-parter in all honesty. I want that. I want it really bad. It's on my throne, but it's expensive, so I don't expect anyone to get it. I only put things that are expensive on the throne as a joke. They never get bought. I didn't add to... The problem is, they never get bought, and I intend to buy them myself. So never buy anything that's on the throne. But for anything on throne, I always intend to buy it myself. I forget to buy it, and it goes out of stock. Ed 209, I meant to buy and build on stream. There's a model kit for Ed 209, out of stock, gone forever. Spice and Wolf Holo, there's a Figma, like, not model, but figure of Holo from the new series. Went out of stock, gone forever. And now I have the mesher on it. And I can't wait to never have a mesher because it's on my throne. And I forget to buy it. It's a really good morality boost. I heard a story that the Imperial Japanese Army seized the American vessel that was carrying just ice cream and filled them... and that filled them with dread. The Japanese soldiers were starving and the Americans can afford the whole vessel just for... Oh my god, okay, I was like, why did that fill them with dread? It's because at that point, they must have been on the back foot in the wars, but like, America's dominating so much that we're just like, hey boys, ice cream's all around, and the Japanese are like, what the hell are we fighting? But what we're going to do, we might not be able to build the arms, but we always forget to build the weapons. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more prep on the shield before I can build it. We'll build that next stream, but we will build the beam rifle right now. And I need to find the Nightingale's beam rifle because I want to do a size. It's gonna be smaller than the Nightingale's, but I still want to see what it looks like next to the Nightingale's. That's not the correct piece. Ooh, you regret to buy last Strike Freedom at your local hobby store. Now it. Ooh. Ah. Oh, guys, I see what you're saying. Let's then pick up on it first. Ice cream was a big deal during World War II. Tasting History did a video about it. Ooh. I need to watch more Tasting History. I'm not subscribed, so I just get randomly recommended. And I really should subscribe. It's a fun channel. They especially shipped ice cream to the troops to boost morale. Morale is a very important thing in war, and a lot of people undersell just how important it is. We talked about how in World War I, how like English having better morale because they could do dark humor more than the Germans was a very important thing during World War I. Morale is super important in a war. One thing that I hate that the American military doesn't do anymore is in World War II, you could bring your gun from home to be your sidearm. If you had a revolver that you brought from home, like, they'd be like, yeah, you can have that as your sidearm, you know, like, you can have that as, like, your backup gun, you know, it's just like, yeah, it's fucking like, it's your family pistol, sure, you know, you're familiar with it, you know how to use it, we don't need to train you how to shoot it. Okay, fine, you know, we're still gonna train you how to shoot the rifle, but we don't need to like train you in a pistol, we just need to make sure you can fire it, and if you can, we don't care anymore. But now it's like, oh no, now everything has to be service, and you can't have your dad's pistol anymore, you have to have this fucking, gotta have the new pistol, and it's like, just let them have the 1911 that their dad used to kill Germans with, okay? Just let them have the 1911. You're gonna say the gun you're giving them now is, like, you're gonna not give them the gun that you're, like, working on now, and you're just gonna default to the 1911 anyways, so just let them bring their 1911 from home. You've been with Tasting History from the beginning. You found him through Townsend. Townsend's is also great. Townsend's sharing, like, all those colonial recipes and whatnot. Townsend's is amazing. A channel that I've been with for a long time is not a cooking channel. I still want to share it. It's a historical channel called Mothlight Media, and if you like just history of the natural world, like how animals have evolved, like where did butterflies come from? If you've ever asked that question for some reason, he has a video on that. You ever wanted to learn about the mosasaur? He has a video on that. Ooh. You ever want to learn about, like, the evolution of the platypus? He got a video on that. It's a really, really nice channel. Ooh. What? I've also been watching, I forget what her name is, but there's also another paleontology channel of, like, this girl who has, like, a lot of tattoos of, like, fossils on her. Ooh. Because she has, like, tattoos of her favorite, like, extinct genera on her body. But that was also good. She gives us, like, information in, like, a very digestible. There's a lot of good paleontology channels. There's a lot of good history channels. There's a lot of good history cooking channels. Ooh. YouTube has a lot of freedom of choice in what you can watch. And we need to do a sticker. The sticker's right here. That doesn't feel right. That feels a little wide, but whatever. Check Mike Burnfire. I completely misread that name. Burnfire and Zach Zard, if you want to hear rambling about weapons, it's a... Are one of those guys Weapon Jesus? Ooh. I know, what is that? That's like forgotten weapons or whatever. I like how anytime somebody has long hair and is white on YouTube, they're just called whatever they do, Jesus. Ooh. It's not, people aren't very creative, but it's always funny. If you're the first person to do something with long hair in a topic, you just become the Jesus of that topic. But I will... Lindsay... I think it is Lindsay. Actually, I'll double check to make sure it is. Ooh. Lindsay sounds familiar, so... Or Lindsay. Yeah, Lindsay Nicole. Ooh. You got it. I'm gonna take a... I could take a screenshot, but then I'd have to go over to my keyboard, and I don't want to do that right now. Ooh, I took a picture of your chat. Oh, actually, I want to do a quick aside. So there's a company called Allure, and I had to double check and find out that apparently I'm actually subbed to like 1 or 2 of these girls. I've actually never watched their content, but apparently I've seen like 1 or 2 of them, thought like, oh, that's like an interesting character design, and subbed to them because, you know, I want to be subbed to a lot of VTubers just so I can link you guys out to anyone at any given time, but also so I can just check out new people. But I haven't seen any of their content, but apparently Allure is like a VTuber company that's all women, not strange or anything, but it's all women, and it's like ASMR, and it's like suggestive material. And I was like, oh, well then I'm probably gonna unsubscribe from the ones who I'm subscribed to, but okay, whatever. I'm not really into that, but they have like a no male collaboration policy, and understandable, a lot of companies have that. But recently there was a karaoke, relay, which means that people sing a song, then they like hand over the next part of the relay to another channel, like they raid into another channel, and then they continue the concert. However, because some of the members of the relay were men, they were like, well, we can't do the relay because there are men involved. And it's just like, are any of the men raiding into your channels? Like, why not make it so like, it's not the fact that men are raiding them or they are raiding into men. It's the fact that men are involved and might have like no direct connection with their stream. They just might get raided into eventually. And they're like, no, can't have that. And it's like, I feel like that's a little bit petty. I know you're a company that like sells yourself on the GFE experience, but I feel like your audience is going to explode when they realize all of your talents are dating already. Like, surely, like, it just doesn't seem very feasible for me in the long term that that's a good model. Like, not the fact that they won't collab with men, but the fact that they want to keep the illusion that like their talents don't interact with men at all. I'm gonna put this sticker back on and hope that will just stick. Like, that's not a sustainable. That's not sustainable. Okay. Don't call me Shirley. No, those guys plays mods Fallout and they just yap about weird. Oh, okay. The Fallout guns are ooh, I still find it funny how, let me get this in. There we go. How Bethesda decided to like redesign all of the guns in Fallout, and it's just like, and every person who likes guns ever is just like, you've ruined everything. Cause like, a lot of the guns were either just historical guns or sci-fi guns originally, but now like every gun has to be this wholly impractical original piece of work by Bethesda for some reason, and it's just hideous. Ooh. Bethesda is notoriously bad though for designing guns. I do find the fact that it's funny how VTubing has come along, but there's still places where people freak out over the idea of male on stream. Ooh. I've actually gotten that before with certain VTubers. Ooh. Ada has told me that's happened when I've come on stream, but I haven't seen it myself. But I have seen it with Ari, where there have been people from Ari's community who just despise me for having the gall to hang out with their Oshi. Ooh. Unicorns are detestable. It is annoying. It is very, very annoying. Ooh. And hearing that Violor promotes unicorn behavior is, again, not something that's going to work out for them in the long term, because as Rushia shows, oh yeah, promoting unicorn behavior is profitable, but the moment that shit gets revealed as not being real, well, you've literally built your entire market off of manipulating your audience, and it's going to crash hard. It would not surprise me if Violor goes down like an entire company where it's just a bunch of Rushias. And if you don't know who Rushia is a HoloLive member who was actually, I think, the highest earner for HoloLive, but she got a message from a man on stream, and she went with a GFE experience. So when people saw a Discord notification pop up live on stream from a man, people lost their shit. And she tried to do control the situation by by releasing chat logs and whatnot showing that it was nothing serious or romantic. However, she violated privacy policies in HoloLive and got fired for it. And there's more specific detail to go into with Rushia, but that's the too long didn't read. What piece is that? I know what piece that is. I don't know where it is though. I'm pretty sure that's a piece I took out. Yeah. So here's one and here's the other. Okay. Yeah, Rushia kind of turned out not to be the best person after all of that. To be fair, in general, after all of that, it was kind of at first oh, something bad happened and she overreacted and everything crumbled around her. But then when she went indie, it kind of turned out that she was kind of she was kind of just manipulative in general and wasn't a great person. It's oh, okay. I'm gonna quickly paint this because I just want to. VTubing boom made a place for really weird people with parasocial relationships, even more so than the previously established female streamers. Yeah. Ooh. There we go. Some people take their Oshi affection a little too seriously. There we go. Meow. Yeah, there's a crap load of drama in the VTubing community. There's a bit of a joke that it's just kind of what happens when you have a community that's mostly women, but in all honesty, if it's not one thing, it's another thing in VTubing. Ooh, that's why Ada no longer does drama, because it was just became too much. It's just constantly. Every month, there's some big new thing that happens. And honestly, there's so much drama that something massive can happen, and the next month you'll forget about it because something else big happened. Ooh. This year has been particularly awful in, like, drama-wise, because it's like people are just constantly, like, releasing Google Docies. And at first, like, last year, when people released Google documents, it would be like, oh, like, it's like effectively like somebody's releasing an expose on somebody and how they have shitty behavior or something. Now when a Google document is released, people are like, oh, so this is probably bullshit. That's how bad it's gotten, where it's like when groundbreaking accusations are made, people are no longer like, oh, this is bad. They're like, oh, let's give it a week and see if anything happens. VTuber drama is pretty stupid. To this day, I still don't know if the Cinder drama, which happened earlier this year, was actually, like, legitimate drama or not. Because, like, some people are like, oh, Cinder was paying an artist to not, like, to specifically not produce art for her friends. And it's like, that's pretty bad. But then other people, like, Cinder was paying an artist for an exclusivity contract. And it's like, oh, that's normal. It's like, one is normal business, is an exclusivity contract, which a lot of VTubers do. Iron Mouse has an exclusivity contract with her editor, for example. A lot of VTubers have exclusivity contracts with other creators to produce clips or art for them. And, like, again, half of what I've heard is Cinder simply offered a person an exclusivity contract, while the other half is Cinder was actively paying someone to not produce art for her friends. And it's like, one is bad, one is business. Which one happened? I have no idea. We're gonna Google Doc detailing Merrick's everyday activities, including his missing lighter fluid and missing gunpla parts. I don't know where those missing gunpla parts are. They're gone forever. Last year I lost the hand for my High New Gundam. I've never found it. Those pieces are gone forever. You'll never know where they are, chat. You'll never know where they are because I don't know where they are. We're gonna wait to put this on so the paint has a little bit more time to set. And we'll get this out. But the lighter fluid, I'll never tell you where that is. That's my lighter fluid. It's all for me, chat. I need to get a good whiff of lighter fluid before I go to bed every night. You know, it calms my nerves. Disclaimer, I do not do lighter fluid. Lighter fluid is a very dangerous drug and will cause brain damage. Do not do lighter fluid at home. This has been a public service announcement, so I do not get banned on Twitch for making a joke. Have a nice day. Ooh. The fact that I have to do that whenever I make a joke about sniffing lighter fluid is annoying. But Twitch sucks. I don't need to say that for YouTube. I mean, YouTube also sucks, but I don't have to make public service announcements for YouTube. I can be like, I was making a joke, and YouTube would be like, we didn't even look at your video. We don't care. You know, we didn't ban you. We don't care. You're small. You don't exist. Twitch would be like, ah, you were making a joke? Well, we did not appreciate that joke. Well, we didn't understand it was a joke. In fact, we think you were actually being serious. So you're banned forever. Cinder, I don't even know if I think she went radio silent, but I think she's still around. I just think that because she doesn't have the ties to Bao and Shy Lily anymore, she's not as noticeable, I think is what happened. So I don't know if she actually fully disappeared. I think she's just gone silent and also no longer has those connections with those bigger creators. I don't have a carpet, so I can find the Gunpla pieces relatively easily. I almost always find my Gunpla pieces. But there's some even I cannot find. Like, my high grade Gundam the Origin, his V-fin cover, the little red thing, fell off. No idea where that is, but that's really small in my defense. But I still, I don't know where my Zaku's shoulder pad is. I will admit to that. Let me get my Zaku out. Not his shoulder pad, sorry, his shoulder shield. I noticed a few months ago it was missing. I have no idea where it is. I have no idea where his shoulder shield is, and I have an idea. It's over there. But I don't want to look for anything over there because it's kind of a mess over there. So it's gone forever. Luckily, Zaku's look cool even without their shoulder pad, so I'm not too concerned. Also, it's a pretty big piece, so I think I'll be able to find it when I do clean up over there. J11? Yes. Am I sure I didn't accidentally eat them? Pretty sure. Pretty sure, but not 100% certain, because I also do food. Even though this is, I don't really know why. I have a perfectly clean counter, most of the time. I have a perfectly clean counter I could use, but for some reason I do food prep also on this table. So there is a possibility I've eaten some plastic, because I don't always clean off all the gates from this table. So there's a possibility I might have eaten some gunpla at some point. Ooh. Maybe had some extra crunchy breading at some point. That's a distinct possibility. Chat, you might eat microplastics, but I eat macroplastics, okay? Get on my level. Okay? Be a true millennial chat. Be like the millennial chads, okay? Be like the kids who grew up in the 90s who ate plastic and licked lead paint. Is there any surprise that millennials are such a messed up generation when that was just something that was happening throughout the 90s? I love yummers. I cannot read the word yummers without thinking of Homelander, even though I've never I have watched the first few episodes, but even though I don't watch The Boys, just the yummers. Ooh. I'll never forget when Ariel Lulu made a chat GPT husbando of, almost called him Omni-Man like an idiot, of Homelander, and then she was genuinely surprised when he turned out to be evil like Homelander. It's like what happened is, like, she had like several weeks where it's like, he's the perfect husband, and then he just was like, I've been manipulating you this whole time, and she's like, how could this happen? It's like, you made Homelander. What do you mean, how could this happen? Of course, like, is all like, you know, just like playful and whatnot. But it still is, it's still a fun thing to watch whenever she makes a AI husbando. And the AI husbando ends up inevitably being evil because all of her AI husbandos are evil people. At least I'm not sanding it. I used to sand them. That's how I add spice to my dishes, chat. You know, you add Parmesan, you know, you grate the Parmesan, I just sand over my dishes. Like, yeah. It gives them extra flavor. Ooh. A lot of people don't know this, but the red and yellow, you know, give a bit of a turmeric taste. Let's see here. I think I'm doing this correctly. I pray I am. There we go. Ooh, you're gonna go? Okay, yeah, I hope you have... Ooh. I hope you have a good rest of your night or day. I don't know what time it is for you. But I hope you have a good rest of yours. What time is it right now? Oh, we don't have a lot of time in stream in general. I very much don't like going... I don't like going over 2 hours, but... Master grades and big high grades kind of are an exception, but I very much despise going over 3 hours, so we don't have much time in this stream either, in all honesty. We only have about 20 minutes, it says. Yeah, about 20 minutes left on this stream. Enough time to get a little bit more construction done, though. And I actually thought these were part of the legs because they're so big. Obviously, I was being dumb and forgot how big this kit is. In any other kit, these would be like the these would be the calves. Not the thighs. The thighs are always small. These would be the calves of the mobile suit. Mobile suit's correct, Merrick. Why did you correct yourself? These would be of the mobile. Fuck. I corrected myself by saying the correct thing. Fucking. Bad enough when I have to correct myself for my speech impediment. When I say the correct thing and then I still correct myself, it's just embarrassing. But that means I have to clean off all these pieces. Ooh. Though, I'm not quite sure if over the weekend I'm going to paint these in yellow. Because I wanted to have them as a red base and then paint yellow over top of them. But I might just keep them red in all honesty. It's growing on me. Hold on. That's better. Can we please? There we go. Look at that nice clean triangle where there once was a splotch like this. Look how clean that is now. I don't need to paint within the lines if I just erase afterwards, chat. Art teachers will tell you that erasers are for cheaters, and I will always tell you they're full of shit. I don't know why so many art teachers I've had have like treated erasers or going back and correcting mistakes like it's evil. When it's just like, no, I made a mistake. Like, what you should be teaching is don't get fixated on your mistakes, move forward. But if I made the wrong line that's that's just not able to be worked with, yeah, I should redo the line. Remember in high school, I had a teacher who was particularly ornery about, like, if you erased something. They were always about how, like, every line you make has to, like, has to have intent and has to be the final line. And it's like, well, this is not how drawing works in general. Because you have to sketch out an image first, and you have to erase what you sketched out for the final image. Absolute shit teacher. If you want to rub the excess plastic off, watercolors are a little easier to use on. I will say that. Normally for Gunpla, normally I don't use the Gunpla paint for this. Usually I use the Vallejo, which are easier to remove. I just did the Gunpla paint because I realized on Monday, all of these flat surfaces are really forgiving to scrape off with. But yeah, usually I use the Vallejo, which I think might be a watercolor. Ooh. Vallejo, I have a Vallejo out already. Vallejo it's acrylic, so that's not watercolor. Ooh. Gonna go perfect unicorn strikes Zaku, heavy weapon type 1. Plus Zaku 2 equipped with beam rifle? In Discord. Let me see that. Oh, look at I opened up Discord and I saw my dog who put himself in the kennel after he did a naughty today. Oh, those are really nice, actually. Ooh. Let's say actually, like... But sometimes you do produce abominations. But yeah, he shared these, and Are those the... I haven't seen it in a while, but on his back, did you put the... I'm not sure if those are the rockets from Origin, but they kind of look like the Comfort rockets on the Zaku 1's back. But I don't know where my Comfort is, so I can't look at that. Ooh. Let's clean this up. Come on. Jesus. Like I'm making really tiny cheese for a pizza with all these little scrapings. Oh god. I thought I was done and then I saw this one right here, which is also terrible. Oh, that one cleaned up really well though. Put that there. Again, it looks really good when it's cleaned up. I was just really hoping I could do this. I thought I wouldn't have to do this until next week. So I was going to do it on, like, I was going to do it tomorrow or Friday off stream. And it's annoying because I literally thought this was a leg piece. And I was like, we're not doing the legs today, so I can just wait. I was wrong. There we go. It is the count for Bazooker. Bazooker? I'm not from New England. Why do I say Bazooker? I mean, it looks really nice when you get them cleaned up, though. I know I keep saying that. It's just... I just have to keep telling myself that because, again, it's such a pain in the ass to clean them up. And I'm probably going to have to before I apply a top coat. And I'll forget to do this before I apply a top coat. You mark my words. I'm going to have to sand these parts down. Luckily, because it's fairly even, I'll probably can get away with a pretty low grit and then a polish. So, like, I can probably just use an 1,000, followed by a 2,000, followed by a 3,000 for the polish. But I'm gonna forget to do that, is my biggest concern. Let me see if I actually have my high grit, not high grit, low grit? Is it high grit or low grit if it's higher numbers? Because, like, lower numbers are grittier for sandpaper. But I feel like you'd describe the hot. I don't know. There's 1,000 and there's 3,000. So I don't have my polish stick anymore. And those aren't supposed to come until like the end of the month. For some reason. Everything's a pain. I need to get new polish sticks. I need to get new sanding sticks as well. Everything's a pain. Oh, and I need to do this part still. You're still in the process of modding the Goof Gatling shield, so you can put it on the Zaku 1. Zaku 1 with a Goof Gatling shield will go pretty hard. Okay. Oh, I was so confused because I looked at this and I was like, I haven't done this yet, and I did it before stream. That's either the one I did at the start of stream, or I did clean one of these before stream for some reason, just to make sure. Yeah, I did like one experimental one where I put paint on it, let it dry, then I cleaned it up to test it. That must have been the test one. God, but that looks really nice once all of them are filled in. And now, with that done, we can put on the arm, which again, looks more like I'm constructing a leg than an arm. Let's see here. Jesus. I don't know if that's not appearing on camera, sadly. It's like little snow dust, chat. And then it lines up like this. And then this one lines up like this. There we go. Top coating is such a hassle living in South Asia. It's just so damn humid. Ooh, I can see that being an issue because you need everything not only to dry, but also you just want to make sure like the surfaces themselves are dry. Like I'm not to say like it's so humid that like things get like that everything's covered in a constant dew, but I just can understand how that would be a pain in the ass. I cannot do coding outside though because I live in the Midwest and the Midwest is very, very windy. So I have to do any coding inside. So I have to like build a cage around the thing, wear a mask, open the windows, because if I try to go outside, it will never not be windy enough where if I spray the can, I could spray it right here, like this far apart, and the wind will just take all of the spray away. So, oof. There's just different areas got different problems. Ooh, finer, that's the word. That's the word. Finer is the word, because it's a higher... Ooh. The higher grit, though, is also the technical word. Is also correct. Is this confusing? Because in English, this is higher grit, but this is more gritty. Because this is a higher grit because there's more grit to it, but this is more gritty because it's more coarse. Ooh. And that's why English is such a fun language that people love to learn from across the world. They adore English is everyone's favorite language to learn, I'm told. That's one of your serious kit bash projects. I cannot say that. I can't say that 1 time fast, let alone 5. You should know that it's good to have the big projects. God, I don't know why that reminded me, but I need to start drawing again. I've been going through the circuit behind the scenes, and I just have not been keeping up with my practice. Okay, no. I need to get... That's C. Hold up, I need to... It looks like it's a double, so shouldn't it be somewhere on one of these? But this is F. There's E. I found E. Unicorn with perfect strike is the test fit for another project. Okay. The wind must be having a beef with you. But it doesn't help that where I can actually spray it out is technically a wind tunnel. So not only is it windy where I live, but like the backyard is like fenced in, and because the backyard is fenced in, it functions as a wind tunnel. So it just blasts any. So if I go, and I can't go out front to do the spraying because residential. And I can't go out back because it's just too windy. It's just not accessible either way. Most useful English word, Viek. I find it funny how in the 2000s, there was this really big thing where the most famous example is Battlestar Galactica, but there was this popular trend to like replace curse words on TV with like fictional curse words, because like for your universe, if it's like a sci-fi or fantasy, that way you could have your characters cuss, but get through the censors. And in Battlestar Galactica, everyone said frack instead of thick, and it was always funny because they used that word in place of, because it wasn't just the fact that they said frack instead of any other curse word on that show. So, like, they would never say shit. They would never say damn it. They would never say any other, like, curse word. They would just say frack for everything. And when you start noticing that, it became really, really awkward because nobody just says the F word exclusively. They say other curse words depending on how serious it was, but in Battlestar Galactica, it was always frack. You know, somebody stubs their toe, frack. You know, ooh, your best friend just got shot down, frack. I don't think those are equivalent. Stubbing your toe's way worse than having your best friend die. I should know. Oh my god, I just remembered the most painful shit. When I was a kid, the house I grew up in, this isn't unusual, but the garage had like a 2-step staircase, like leading down into it, and it was concrete. The staircase was concrete, and one time I accidentally, I don't know how I did this, I kicked the concrete with my foot, like while walking up the staircase, because like I miscounted 2 steps somehow. It's this 2-step staircase. That's too high a number for me. So I miscounted and I kicked it as though there wasn't another stair there. So I just went straight into concrete with my foot, and I did not have shoes on. And I got a giant blood well on my big toe. And it freaking hurt. I did not know you could hit the surface of your skin so hard that instead of bruising, it just fills with blood. You live in a home with a backyard? Do you think Doodlehan live in the forest? Ooh. You gotta modernize, dude. Okay. Doodlehans can't live in the forest forever. Also, I'm literally allergic to every native tree to my region, so I couldn't really do the whole forest living. It just wasn't an option. And why won't you go in? There you go. It wasn't an option for me. That's the one thing that stops me from living Uncle Ted's dream. Ooh. I'm one step away from never existing, chat. I got so little record of my existence in this world. And I could just walk into the woods and stop existing if I wanted to. However, I would die immediately because I am allergic to all of the trees. Uncle Ted wrote about how, you know, we need to free ourselves from, you know, this modern world and its conveniences. And I'm like, those conveniences are literally the only reason I'm alive. The irony. I could so easily achieve his dream, but I am literally only alive because of those conveniences he argued against. Oh, Uncle Ted. You crazy dude. Don't build pipe bombs. Pipe bombs are bad. Also, I need to say that as a disclaimer, because you can get... Because we're talking about how Twitch can be a little ban happy, but if you unironically praise Uncle Ted, or even jokingly praise Uncle Ted, you can get banned on YouTube very easily. They will think you're a criminal organization. And I don't want to get banned on YouTube. Damn it, that's the wrong piece. Happened to me once on the top side of your foot. Jesus, couldn't wear any shoes or slip. Oh my goodness. Sounds like you might have dropped something on it. In your case. My dad actually has a dead toenail on the top of his foot, on his, I don't remember which toe it is, but he has like a dead toenail that keeps growing back, and you might be like, how is it growing back if it's dead? It's like, dude, it's like a zombie toenail. This toenail is this thick, and you might be like, it's that long? No, it's this thick. It grows out of his toe, and it's this thick, chat. And it's like yellow. He has a toenail that's this thick and yellow that just grows out of his foot because he ran over it with a trolley. And when I say trolley, I don't mean the English trolley, which is like a vehicle. I mean like the thing you put like weight, the thing that you put stuff on, and then you lean back, and then you push forward. Or just something that you put stuff on and then you push on wheels is what a trolley is in America. Like a trolley rolled over his foot that had a bunch of stuff on it, and it crushed his toenail, but it still grows back, and it's just, this horrific, just like this horrific thing that's like half an inch thick. And the dude never wears socks because he's just like, hey, I'll make my problem your problem. It's the worst thing to look at. Ooh. Okay, well, we're gonna build the hands even though we're at 3 hours. ATP, the power is what mitochondria uses to be the powerhouse of the cell. Sorry. ATP, I just removed the nail and tried to That's the thing, he removes the nail every couple of months. He removes the nail every couple, because he can't cut the nail. Because, like, well, he can cut the nail, but, like, it's so thick that you can't really cut it practically, so every couple of months he just rips off the nail and grows it again. It doesn't regrow. He's already tried that. That's the worst part. This psychopath just goes like, you know, that's looking pretty gross. Rips it off, and underneath it's like a normal nail, so he just rips it off. Imagine ripping off your toenail. He just does that shit, and he's like, I'll just let it regrow. And it's like, that's that's horrific. That's my father. Oh my god. Oh god, he's already done that. Mind you, this is the same man, chat, who was working on a sub pump. And a sub pump, for those who don't know, is a pump that is used to stop flooding. It is often found in basements, so that when it rains, your basement does not flood. But he's working on the sub pump during a rainstorm without unplugging it. Now, sub pumps are very close to water, hence because they're a pump. And he was working on the sub pump while the well that it was in, because they're in like these little wells, while the well was filled up with water. And again, he did not unplug it before working on it. And he got electrocuted. And literally, this is like a man who's like 6'2" and like 300 pounds of pure muscle. He flew back several feet and then was like, wow, I just got electrocuted. Guess I'll go back to working on the sub pump. Like, this is the kind of person we're talking about. Your stream now, no stream. The stream will end in a minute. I just know if I don't do the hands now, I will forget to do the hands, because I like guns. I also like neglect on doing hands in Gundam and Gunpla for some reason. The man is a bit of an oddity. Jesus Christ. Jesus is his homie. This is the same man who I've also told on stream got his deltoid cut in half and was just gushing out blood because like a piece of glass fell onto his deltoid and just sliced down it. And he was just like, I don't need to go to the doctor. And it's just like, you're losing like a lot of blood. I guess I'll go to the doctor. Give me that dirty rag to put into my open wound so I can put pressure on my arm so it will stop bleeding. And it's like, that rag has been in the garage for like 5 years and is like covered in everything you'd expect like a rag in the garage to be covered in. He's like, well, it's the rag that's available, so give it here. There we go. How he's alive, I don't know. Jesus is his homie. Some are submerged. Ours was not submerged. It was on a pipe that was above the water. So he was literally playing with fire. He did not put his hands into the sub. No. This dude had a non-submerged sub pump literally like this far away from like the water was at the top of the well for the sub pump. And the sub pump like sat this far above it. So he was just like working on this piece of electricity. He's pretty much working on a toaster. He was playing with a toaster in the bathtub is what he was doing. And when he got electrocuted like he deserved to, he went back to doing it. ... That's the proper response. same man who started a fake fraternity in college. And I say fake fraternity because it wasn't a real fraternity. But him and a couple of friends were just like, well, let's make up a fraternity. And it's like, what will it be? Well, we'll be the Recuffs. And it's like, what's the hell is the Recuffs? It's like, it's fuckers spelled backwards. And it's like, oh my fucking god. He's such a shitty, he's such a little piece of shit. Oh, he has so many stories. Maybe I should bring him on stream and have him tell the story of how he went to, like, what is it, the Indy 500. Oh, my mom, when he was dating my mom, they went to the Indy 500, but he missed the bus and got there late, and it ended up, even though he got there late, he was like, oh, you know, I drove all the way down here, you know, to just, like, try to, like, see my girlfriend. And there were just people who were like, well, we have an extra seat. And then he got, like, really good seats. And, like, he can tell the story better, but oh my god, like, he went to the Indy 500, got better seats than my mom, and my mom hated him for it. Dude literally drove hundreds of miles to see my mom, and my mom resented him for it. Still married her. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with this man. If you drive hundreds of miles and the woman goes like, you had better seats, like, resents you for it, don't marry her. Man proposed to my mom with a Coca-Cola cap. So soda, let me get a soda out real quick. So as you know, soda has these on them, but in the past they were really big, like big enough to fit a finger through, and he literally proposed to my mom with one of those. I mean, honestly, one of the most Chad things I ever heard, saying like, will you marry me, with a freaking soda cat, with a soda popper. This man, he could tell so many stories. I really should get him on stream. Ooh. That takes Thunderstruck to a new level. Oh my goodness. Ooh. My dad lost the final section of his fingers and middle finger and ring finger because he was careless with the paper cutting machine. My dad thought he cut off a finger. My dad was cutting a rose bush, and like the genius he is, how he would cut the rose bush isn't he would grab it and then cut it. He would grab it, he would grab the rose bush like this, and you might be like, wait, aren't rose bushes like covered in thorns? Don't worry, he wasn't wearing gloves. Which is important for what's about to happen. But he would grab the rose bush with his bare hands and then cut. And then he would cut the rose bush. And he kept doing this. Grabbing the not doing this, grabbing the rose bush, cutting it. Until he comes inside and goes to my brother Kraft, my oldest brother, and goes, he comes inside like this, and he goes, Kraft, I need you to come outside. And it's like, what happened? I think I cut off my thumb, I need you to find it. And so my eldest brother Kraft has to go out to the rose bush and search around like for my dad's dislocated thumb, as like my dad's just gushing blood from his hand. And then after like 5-10 minutes, my dad is like, okay, I'm not bleeding as much. Okay, I still got most of my thumb. You know, I can do without the tip. Get out of there. It turns out he cut off the end of his thumb, and he's like, I don't need the end of my thumb. Okay, son, get out of there. Like, you don't need to be looking for my like digit no more. I got most of it, so it's fine. You gotta imagine how how somebody who's under 10 years old, though. Imagine like you're under 10 years old and your dad just goes like, I need you to find my thumb. It's like Spy vs. Family proposal. Oh my god, I need to see Spy vs. Family still. How do you? He's a great dad. He would wrestle all 3 of his sons at once because he's such, as I said, he's like 6'2", 300 pounds of pure muscle. 300 pounds is like an over exaggeration, but he's built like a shit brick house. Like he's wide. Like this dude is like wide and pure muscle. Like he is just a unit. And so when we were kids, like I'm saying like all like still under 10 years old, but we were all kids. This dude could literally wrestle all three of us at once. And by wrestle, I mean like we'd jump on him and try to take him down. But again, 6'2", pure muscle. He could literally like just lift his arm with two of us on like one arm, and then just like lift up the other arm like with the eldest brother on his like left arm, and he'd just be like, "Argh!" Like we just could not take this man down. He was just too big. And what was funny though is a lot of times while we would be playing with him, the dog would attack him because the dog would not understand that we were playing. So like in the middle of playing, like we'd just be like laughing and having a great time. Then Harbor would just run in and just go for his legs and start biting him. And it'd be like, okay, we have to stop wrestling because the dog's trying to kill me. To be fair to Harbor though, my dad almost killed that dog, because what happened in that case is when we got the dog, what happened is like the first night we had our dog and he was a little puppy, my mom let the dog out of the kennel at night because she felt sorry for the dog. She was like, well, I don't want to leave the dog in the kennel all night by himself. So the dog decided to sleep on the stairs, and my dad decided to walk down the stairs. and like a month old, and like not a month old, but like a puppy versus the full weight of a, again, like 250 pound pure muscle 6'2" man does not go well. And luckily he did not step on the dog, but he slipped on the dog. What that means is his foot landed on the dog, and then the dog gave way and shot out from under his foot. So he effectively kicked the dog, and the dog flew into the wall. And the only reason this is funny is because he, the person who did not want the dog, had to then get the dog, which he just slammed against the wall by pure pressure. Like it was like a reverse, like, you know, like again, just the pressure of his body made the dog shoot out from under his foot. He had to get the dog, go to a vet. This was like midnight, so he had to go to a vet. He had to find a vet in like the 1990s for this dog. And he had to pay a premium, and he's like, and he was just like driving around like the city, just going like, I am not going to kill this dog because I will never live it down. She will like literally be like, for the rest of my life, my wife is going to be like, remember when we got a dog and you killed it on the first night? I need to find a veterinarian, so help me God. The dog lived, but that's also a fun story. It's only a fun story because the dog lived, but there's a lot of stories though that he can tell even. Like one story I would not, well, I have told on stream, but I wouldn't share right now, is the time when he wrestled a bear. Ooh, and he flipped it. He lived a very interesting life. Or when he went to a strip club for a friend's bachelor's party, and all of the strippers were fascinated with him because he was giving them financial advice. Like he's just like, yeah, this is what you do for your W-240s or whatever. And it's just like all of them were like, oh, so we can save on our taxes? He's like, yeah, you can save on your taxes doing this. And they're like, oh, this is really cool. Was your I wish Bandai would go back to fix that. Puppy got hydraulic. Yeah, he got hydraulic pressed. Again, it's horrific. But I can laugh about that because for one thing, I loved that dog. Ooh. I genuinely love that dog. That dog I grew up with. Ooh. And ooh, I have a soft spot in my I have a place in my heart for that dog forever. But just knowing that story is still funny to me. Because it caused, like, there's no long-term effects or anything. It didn't, like, hurt the dog in the long term. It was just... my mom decided the dog shouldn't be in the kennel. You know, she took pity on him. And her pity nearly got him killed. And we need to put the back of the hands on now. So let's see, J8. Then we can end stream. Ooh. Wrestle what now? If you're talking about when my dad would wrestle like all three of his sons at once. He was just a big dude, he could do it. We could never take him down, he was just too big. I mean, we were all, like, also, like, only, like, at most, like, you know... the average age between the three of us were, like, what? Like, maybe 6 years old on average? If you took all of our ages? Maybe 7? I don't think we really stood a chance, to be fair. Okay, let's see. Are these pieces different at all? It doesn't look like it. So... wait a minute. What the hell are you? Well, I want the open hands to... I'm sorry, is there like one... oh. There must be an extra one for the gun hand, right? There must be an extra piece? Let me see real quick. Oh, we still have to do the elbows. Okay. This is gonna be like a 4-hour stream. I don't want to be this long. I don't know where that goes, but I'm gonna have to make sure I don't lose it. Thing is, because this is Gunpla instructions, I just realized they won't tell me where the extra peg for this is until I build the gun. So I'm gonna have to go to the gun instructions because it's gonna tell me to build the hand there. Because Gunpla is weird like that. So the extra is H8. And if I knew it was gonna take so much extra time, I would not have done it. I can't even see the piece. There it is. I was gonna cut it directly off the sprue because I don't have time. And then do the hand. Oh my goodness. And I just... this is gonna take too long to do on stream. Okay, how much work would we have to do for the elbow? The elbow would be JH. Okay, so it'd be H's. HB. Okay. Okay. If this ends up being like a 4-part stream, I'm okay with that. I think I'm gonna call it here after I put the back of the hands on. And I'll build the elbows and some of the... let me see how complex the legs are. Okay. Then I'm gonna have to build the whole flight gear and the shield and... yeah, this is gonna be a 4-parter anyways. Okay. Okay. Okay, that makes me feel more okay with calling it early. Let me get the back of the hands on. So those are L8. And no, that's I. That's J. There's L. L is blue. Yeah. I did not notice how complex those elbows were going to be. looks like they're all 8. And once again, we have a spare piece, which will likely be on the other blue. Well, will have to be on the other blue, but is it on K or it's on K? So here we go. And then get these off. There we go. And I don't know why I keep throwing my sprue cutters in there. No. This is not the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is our longest build so far, and it will likely always be our longest build. That was like, I think that was like a 6-part build. Ooh. I was like, we'll build the Statue of Liberty for like the anniversary of the Statue of Liberty's, well, just for the Statue of Liberty's anniversary. I thought that would be cute. That would be something nice to do. So I got the Lego Statue of Liberty, and I built like a third of the base of it, and I very quickly realized, oh crap, I made a very bad miscalculation. Still love the Statue of Liberty. I think it's still the tallest build we've done. I mean, it's not, I mean, I don't know anything that could compare to it in size, but it's the tallest build we've done. It was kind of awkward to build it because, well, I'm not going to go get it, but where the camera is right now, where my hand is right now, actually, is where the podium was. Is how tall the podium is for the Statue of Liberty. So as you can imagine, building the Statue of Liberty got a little complicated, a little fast on stream. I think that's when I was still using the Logitech camera for hand cam as well. It was also real low quality. I like how all of the back of the hands are interchangeable. I really appreciate that. Because they could have, you know, because a lot of kits are like, oh, you know, they go like the open hands and the closed hands and the trigger hands all have unique back of hands. But I'm really happy that that's not the case here, and it's really easy to work. Because at this moment, I knew I fucked up. Yes. Legos take a lot longer to build, as it turns out. Oh, so they built the gun tank and built most of the 1-year mobile suits. Okay. Ooh. But I think that's where we're gonna have to call it. This is a great build, but holy crap, is it... I think our master grade was only a 3-parter, wasn't it? So this is going to be more intensive than the master grade we just built. But let's actually move this. We have gone, I just realized this is a high grade with an actual book. That's how big this is. That's how important this kit is. They use staples, chat. Bandai used 2 staples to make this. I know, you're amazed too, you know? Oh my, I just realized that though. This is a booklet, not a fold-out instructions. That's how you know it's big, but we have... Don't worry. Ooh, if you only got 1 clip, but... let me see here. We still have this page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're gonna count it as a half. 9, so 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. We have 10.5 pages to go through. My God. And we have gotten through 1, 2.5. So we have 10 pages to get through. We've gotten through 2.5 pages. That's not a good sign. That's a really bad sign. That's an awful sign, actually. Oh. So that means on Monday and Wednesday, we're going to have to do 5 pages each if we want to get to the end of this. So we're gonna have to do twice as many pages. Okay, wait a minute. This might take a little longer than I thought. It's gonna be more than 2 streams. This is already the part 2 stream technically, though we did prep on the first part. Oh. Oh my. Oh, that's nice. They tell you what Gundam colors to combine and what proportions to get the specific colors for this if you want to do the paint instead. Ooh. Oh, look at those Vernairs I have to paint because I just noticed them. Oh, the Vernairs are different colors inside, and I'm going to want to paint those like an idiot off stream. But let's get what we have completed on screen. It's not nearly as much as you would hope. Jesus Christ. Is the Psycho Gundam gonna be this bad? I say bad, this is great, but I don't know where this goes, so I can't lose it. I'm gonna just put this in the box right now so I don't lose it. We're missing a piece, chat. Oh god, we're missing, oh no, we're not. But we have this done. We've been doing this for what, 6 hours? I'm not a very fast builder, but holy shit. That's bad even for me. But we have this much done. Oh lord, this is gonna be a while. This is gonna be at least 2 to 3 more streams. If you meant it in that way, you are spot on. It's gonna be a minimum of 2 more, might be 3. I might, that's kind of a random thought, I might paint this tip gray, even though it's not gray in the art. I feel like making this tip gray would help stand it out a little. That is something you'll find out if I did on Monday. Let me plug these hands in. Actually, I want to give him the grabby hands. There we go. He's coming along, though. You can see the shape starting to form. The remain of the Xi Gundam after it got wrecked by a Zagak. Oh my god. It was Char. He just stabbed it like he stabbed the GM. The Psycho Gundam Mark II. Yes, that's for October. It was going to be on the poll for this it was going to actually be on the Big Boy poll that this got decided on, but I wanted to wait for October because last year we built the Psycho Gundam Mark I in October as like a month-long event because that's a really big kit. Ooh. It's almost 100% color corrected, so so I don't need to do a lot of coloring unless I want to do new type glow, which I might want to do. And what I mean by new type glow is just like panel line it in like whatever the color for I forget the character's name, but the new type aura of the pilot, which is what I did with the Psycho Gundam. Ooh, so it has a nice blue, but I don't remember what Puru's is. But I'll figure that out later. Let me find a place to link you beautiful people out to. YouTube came up first, so I'm gonna link out YouTube first. I need to I have the clip, I have the clip from last week's. Oh, somebody building Gunpla at this hour! Oh my god, on YouTube! And okay, wait. It almost won the poll, but you can't look at what almost was. You gotta look towards the future. She's almost done with this, but I'm still gonna listen. I never get to link to Gunplas on YouTube, so I'm going to link you to Hiragi Emeru of Glitch Stars on YouTube. She's finishing up the... I believe it's... Let's see here. The high-grade GQ is what she's finishing up. It looks really good for a high grade. That's a lot of good detail, actually. I did not know it had that much detail and sculpting in it. That looks really good. But let me find a place for... Wait, why am I clicking on that for Twitch? Let me find a place for Twitch. Ooh. Let me see if I can... Fly Night, Oh, she's also on Twitch. I could link you out to her on Twitch as well, but I think I'd rather... Would you guys want me to link out to her on Twitch as well, or would you like me to raid out to Atya? Ooh. So I'll have to find her on Twitch is the thing, because I don't already have her followed on Twitch. There. Ooh. How does the link out to Atya? Wait, no, I'll link out to her. Copy. Okay, I'll link you out to the same place. So YouTube and Twitch can go to the same place. I don't like to raid larger people, so I'm just gonna link out for Twitch. And with that, I think we have everything covered. Oh, where's chat? Ooh. The GQ wouldn't be a fun build on stream if you paint it. It's lacking a crazy amount of color. It looks like she filled in a lot of that color. Hey, you take care as well, Kays. Everyone take care. Remember to have a great day, a wonderful life, and remember to not lose your heads out there. And also, I forgot, we also built the gun. So we did also do that. But have a great night, everybody. I hope you liked this stream as much as I like doing it. And if you're new or old here, thank you for joining us. And all that good stuff. I'm trailing off. It's late. We'll be back, not tomorrow, but Friday, with Claire Obscure. And we will be continuing this build, though, on Monday. And probably also next Wednesday. And I'm going to quickly say before I sign off, I think the schedule is from now on going to be every other week is going to be 5 days and then 3 days. So next week will be a 5-day stream week. And then the week after is going to be 3 days like this week. So just so you know going forward. Ooh. And next week that means we'll be finishing Job and Sucker for Love. Ooh. But you'll also be I'm also going to be publishing schedules more often, and I'll start getting the schedules not only on the Discord, but also on YouTube and maybe Twitter. Have a good night, everybody.